Hello. How's everyone doing? We're going to give you all a minute before we get started. But in the interim, get your questions ready because we are going to have a fun night where we are going to discuss the what? Met Gala. Hello.
Hey everyone.
Go ahead and request on Instagram. Perfect. I got you all. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Is there an echo?
We're good.
We're good? Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone. Can everybody hear us? No delays or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're good.
Okay, and I want to make sure sound check for our audience. Can you hear us well and everything?
So I think that we might need to turn down one of the cameras or one of the computers.
Okay. Somebody may be up. It could be me. I think someone's computer is on. Oh, Scorpio, is yours?
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. We're just going to do a quick test. Everyone, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, Jazz?
Yes, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not echoing.
You are just a slight bit. So go ahead and lower your phone.
I did, but it goes back up, and I put it down like the sound pops back up.
It does sometimes.
So I don't know. I can mute the mic maybe, but it's delayed on the other thing.
Okay. Hello, everyone who is watching from Instagram. We are also on YouTube. So if you want to head to YouTube, you can head to YouTube. But we're here on Instagram as well as YouTube. And we're going to get started. But we want to make sure everyone can hear us. So just give us a second as we work through all of our technical magic. Julian, can you say something?
Hello everyone. Hey.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Jazz, can you say something?
It sounds good over here.
Yeah. I think it's good. Is everybody okay? Let me see. I'm going to put this here. I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think it works.
Okay. All right. We're on YouTube. On my YouTube page, Lynn. It's in my channel. All right, guys. Okay. So let's make sure everybody's internet. I look frozen, but I think I'm back.
You're back
Okay.
now.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hi, everyone, and welcome. We are here on Instagram. We are here on YouTube and Twitch. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to our 2025 Met Gala recap. I'm Monica Magno Tete, a sewist designer, and your host for tonight's conversation, where we're breaking down one of the most iconic nights in fashion, the Met Gala. Are you all excited?
I'm still living off the high from last night, so yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm so excited to be joined by 3 amazing creatives in the sewing community and designing community tonight, each bringing their own design, their own style, and everything. But first up, we have my girl and my sorority sister, Jasmine Chandler of So Much Jazz. Actually, we got a D9 panel going on here.
Oh, that's crazy.
I didn't realize that. Okay. So I have Jasmine Chandler, a powerhouse of vibrant, fearless sewing and statement pieces. Jasmine, what are you most excited about seeing? That you were most excited about seeing at this year's gala?
Just everyone's interpretation. I think everyone's very excited about seeing this year because it's like for us. So kind of seeing how people recreated that, your own interpretation of it. So
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Next up, we have Julian Collins of Julian Creates. Julian's modern twist on classic menswear makes him the perfect person to unpack this year's tailoring focused theme. Julian, what are you hoping or hope to see that we saw this year?
Definitely the use of menswear in all aspects and really focusing on exquisite tailoring is something that I'm super excited to see and something that I plan to carry out for the rest of the year.
Okay, good. All right. And Scorpio of Sins of Many. Scorpio brings that bold avant garde vision, pushing the boundaries of design. Scorpio, what did you expect or hope to see?
Number one, I was excited for all the Nigerian designers. Debo Kwenu, my people. We finally
Yes.
getting a shot. And then, of course, like Julian said, the exquisite tailoring. Wanted to see what they came up with, man. And so it was our time to shine. So I was excited for it.
Okay, okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this year's theme, Superfine. Julian, did you want to talk about it a little bit? I can do my interpretation and then, yes, if you don't mind touching on that.
Sure. Absolutely. So this year's Met Gala theme was super fun, the art of tailoring the Black style. It is coming off of the book by Monica Miller called Slaves to Fashion, which really looks at the precipice of where Black dandyism started, especially amongst, you can take it back to almost the 16th century with Mongrove, which was the first interpretation of a Black dandy seen in popular culture. It was in an opera out of Spain, and move forward throughout the years. And it really shows how Blacks who at one time were enslaved used color and cut and clothes that were sometimes just kind of even cast off by their masters to really help build their space in society and be seen in all spaces and places. And now that we also see this in today's styles with Dapper Dan and so many other just kind of dandy and just tailoring masters who really use exquisite style of a European cut, but making it our own in color and shape and texture because our bodies are different. And we bring a different element to it that is now more important today than ever, as there are spaces that are trying to silence anything that is different than what is for the European white gaze.
Yes. Well, Julian, thank you for talking about that because I think that was one of the things that I was stuck on and I was hoping to see. I'm going to be upfront and just say it right now. I was a little disappointed, a little bit. I was
Mm,
inspired,
mm.
but I was also disappointed. It left for something more. I felt like something was missing. Let me know your thoughts. I know some of us were posting last night and into this morning what we loved, what we didn't like. And then some of us agree and some of us don't agree on some of our favorite makes. But let's talk about it.
So here's the thing. I think that we saw better um, in the article. So I think that it's better representation of like we have it kind of in like what we got out of like the Vogue magazine articles and the photographs and stuff like that was a lot better than what we saw on the runway in
hmm
many cases. But
hmm
this is permanent. This was permanent. What we saw there, that's a moment in time and a night. But this is more permanent. So I'm okay with some of that now. But and then also we have to realize that whereas in the magazine and stuff like that, this can be more editorial. The Met Gala itself is a fundraising event. It is a business, and that actually raised the most money of all Met Galas in history. It raised over $31 million for an exhibit that is focusing on Black style. It is
hmm
amazing.
Wait,
So, and those tables are bought by companies. So
let's stop there, Julian. Let's stop there. It's one of the most highest grossing
Oh, it's
Met
the
Gala.
most.
it is the highest.
The
The
Highest.
most.
highest. The
Highest,
highest.
not the most, the
Yeah.
highest. $31 million. It has
Yes.
already
Mhm.
raised.
Yes.
So, are you all hearing that? Do you all see that? So, that's for me. For me, that's where I was just like, this was a platform to not only showcase African American tailing, the black style, dandyism, a variety of different things, even tailoring as sewists. Jazz, let me know what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I saw like the comments, people were disappointed and stuff like that, and I get that looking at it like a styling standpoint. But looking at the garments and stuff and seeing how things were constructed or reinterpreted or the use of fabrics, I was really inspired personally by it. Like I thought it was really good. Like I mean, of course there were some looks I'm like a little bit like, come on, you could have done better, or you could have like amped it up a little more. But look at the pieces themselves as an individual. Like I was really like inspired just by the craftsmanship of it.
Okay. And what about you, Score? Tell us your thoughts, because I know you had a lot.
No, I think one of the good things that they did was they really hyped this up on all platforms about the Black dandyism, and I think that was really really good that they did that. Really smart. What I think, and I think I can agree with other people when they're saying about the disappointment, is it's still going to be interpreted individually. Like
Yes.
Julian was saying, is these brands, some of these brands, and the people that they had making these outfits, they may not have been educated into the style of what Black dandyism is. So it was all self-interpretation. A lot of those outfits that we saw, we were kind of like, what's going on here? Even from a brand or stylist perspective. But then at the same time, what I will say is from an individual standpoint, for probably the last 5 or 6 years, the men of the Met Gala have been a complete letdown. But this year, it was definitely head and shoulders above what they've been doing. And it was across many, many, many individuals. A lot of people made their debuts. The same thing with a lot of independent designers that made their first debut. So I was okay and excited about
I'm sorry. My husband decided to test the alarm system at the time that I'm live. My apologies. I was like, what is that noise? Whose house is that coming from? My house. Okay. Hey, it's live. So I agree with you all. I think Jazz, what you said, Jazz, inspiring. Yes, I was inspired. I was inspired in the sense of wanting to create and actually try to not necessarily duplicate looks, but there were some looks in there that I saw that I'm like, oh yes, and then also create what it would be for me if I was to have attended the Met Gala, what that look would be, especially if I'm saying I'm disappointed in some of the looks, what would I have done differently, or the tailoring. Scorp and Julian, I agree. Looking at all of the men, because this year the men did not come, they didn't come to disappoint compared to years
Some
past.
did. Some
Some
did.
did.
that.
So, okay, let's talk a little bit about the men then, since we're gonna go there. The chairs. Let's talk about the chairs that were present. The three
Go ahead,
chairs.
Jazz.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you guys speak it, and I'm gonna tell you how I felt about the three chairs that were present because LeBron James was injured and he was not present. But let's talk.
Okay. So I'm loving, there were cultural references throughout that you sometimes had to really take a moment to catch. So, like Coleman Domingo, of course, you had the cape over the top of the original outfit with the pleating made by Valentino, which kind of harkened back to Andre Leontali, who dominated the carpet and was the host with the most. Just we missed that energy, and I was loving to see it. I'm still looking for the reference for it, but definitely the over piece over top of the cape. I want to say that is coming from New Orleans Mardi Gras culture, and that is a Mardi Gras Indians cape that you normally see. That's
Mhm.
where I have not been able to fully confirm it, but that's where I think that came from. But then when you look at the outfit itself and underneath it, we have seen him in other pieces throughout this press tour kind of going towards it. I'm like, okay, it looked it looked a little bit pedestrian. And I'm like, you could have went there. Like literally, I liked what you wore for the press announcement earlier in the day, the Oswald Boateng suit. Then I
The
liked,
burgundy one.
yes.
Yeah.
Then I liked the Valentino look. But I still liked it. I liked the detail. I liked the texture, the pearls on it. It was gorgeous,
Mhm.
but it was not hitting the way I thought you could hit.
Yes.
That's my thought. And
Okay.
then with Lewis Hamilton,
Ugh.
seeing like first of all, it was a black designer who made it. It was beautifully tailored. The problem
Mm-hmm.
is it was missing the coat. Once
Mm,
I saw the coat over top of it, the overcoat that went with this, it made
yes.
more sense. When you saw
Yes.
all the details, the buttons and the cowrie shells and stuff around the sleeves, I'm like,
Yeah.
where that was not on the carpet.
No.
And so the sash that was down the side that has similar detailing was taken out of context when I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the coat. That was my
Mm.
thought.
Okay. So, y'all, I just want to preface this. We're looking to pull up all of the pictures for references as well, but we know all of you have seen some of the looks. So, if there are people that you may have not seen from our channels, let us know and we'll have those up. And then we'll kind of go through people individually as we're talking here. But right now, we're just having our discussion. Scorpio.
You know, it, what's the word to say? I guess you could say overall, I kind of feel like the chairs could have set the tone, but I feel like it kind of like left it level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so used to, and I became hip to Coleman late in the game. I know people who have been on him for years. I came late to the game, so for me, I was thinking he was about to. I mean, because for me, the build up, everything he had on the build up was better than what he had actually. And the same thing with Lewis. Like Lewis has been very, very consistent with what he's been doing. I mean, he's been more. What's the word? He's just been more with other themes. So it was kind of like it was overall, I think we've been spoiled so that when we did see it, we were like, oh, that's cool. When
Mm-hmm.
really we thought like this was y'all chance to go over the top, be extra, like do it because it was an expectation, especially once we saw all the chairs that they were named. And but yeah, overall, they left me wanting more as well.
Okay, okay. Jazz, and again, this is audience participation. I'm seeing the audience's participation in on YouTube as well as here on Instagram. And from the audience, the Black Sewing Network, Carmen mentioned that ever since Andre Leon Talley is no longer with us, it's sort of like the Met has not been the same. And I would definitely agree with that. I think not having him present, because even look at Anna Wintour. She did not execute the theme for me, and I felt like,
Man, man.
how? Well,
But
But
go
she
ahead.
doesn't. She doesn't ever.
yeah, she doesn't do that. And honestly, I don't mind it because it's not about her.
That
Like
is
Mhm.
there's
true.
certain I don't need that from her. She came in, I think she came in, it was an archival Virgil Abloh piece, black
Hmm.
Mhm.
designer, recreated for her by Pharrell Williams with a jacket over top. That was fine. I need because it can go real caricature real fast. And we
Mhm.
did not see too much of that. And
Mhm.
so for that, I'm appreciative.
I'm appreciative with that. I think what I mean a little bit more too would be the sense of where you are looking at what they're coming, you're approving those looks in a way, because that's what
Hmm.
typically that she would do. And to see Zendaya, and then there was another lady, they had a very similar look, two different
Mhm.
designers, but they had the
Yeah.
Mhm.
same similar
Mhm.
look and reference. And then even
Hmm.
Diana Ross and Meg the Stallion, they had a
Mhm.
very similar look.
Hmm.
So okay, Jazz, I want to talk to you about the chairs. What were your thoughts about the chairs?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I think everyone was waiting for Coleman to pop out. Like that's everyone was waiting on him because he's known to like shut the carpet down. But now I'm also wondering too if it was intentional to kind of like make it a little bit more. Because I was even reading like his article in Vogue how he like when he was on one press tour he kind of like toned it down a little bit to kind of like other shine. So I wonder if it's the
Hmm.
same thing he was doing here to kind of like let other people kind of like hype it up for them instead of being all about because he is a chair, but kind of make it be about other people instead of just being like his space basically.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
And all you can see, Julian is putting the reference up. We're working to get those references up. He'll put them up for Instagram, and then for YouTube, I'll have them up in a second. But thank you all for joining. So yeah, I agree with you all with that. I think I really wanted ASAP Rocky to bring it. I thought that this was his year. I did like what he wore, but I
I
really wanted
didn't.
him to push it a
I
little
feel like
bit
that was him
further.
though. I felt I didn't
No,
I
I
didn't
mean,
expect
I
anything
felt like
different from him.
you said what?
I felt like it was him. Like it wasn't really that's what I expected from him. I didn't expect
Well,
anything other.
I don't know, Jazz. Looking at other red carpets, him coming in with Rihanna on other red carpets. She was dressed to the. She was full. She was
Yeah.
embodied everything. I was expecting something from him as the chair. Besides, his hair was laid. His hair
Yeah.
was laid. Okay, his hair was immaculate. However,
Hmm.
the I was not really. I was like, is that a raincoat? Take it off.
It
Wasn't
was.
sure
It
like
It
was.
what was
was. It
going on.
was.
So that left me a little disappointed. And yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm not going to say bias, but regarding ASAP, that's a
yeah.
little bit more my style. So I
Hmm.
appreciated it. I do agree, though. Again, just like with the whole Coleman thing, um, he has came harder, and he has been in better outfits just out on the street on date nights with Rihanna. I completely agree. But I think the reason why I liked his outfit yesterday was it was like Jazz was saying, it was more him with
Hmm.
his little spice of what the black dandyism is. And I remember that interview with Arya when she had Dapper Dan and she had a bunch of other people on it, and they were talking about the different types of
Hmm.
dandyism. They're talking about the sweatpants dandyism versus you know
True.
the prototypical. Now I get it that everyone may not understand it, but I think he stayed true to what he is. It was still a nicely tailored look. It was
Hmm.
different when you think about all the other looks. It definitely was different. So I think that's what stood out. And then of course,
Hmm.
Rihanna
It
bringing up
was
the rear
his.
kind of complemented
Mm.
it really well, especially with like the umbrella accessory.
True.
And so I,
I
I, I
think
get it from that standpoint.
what could have
Okay.
made it pop was like so usually, especially when you think of sweatpants, dandies, and like more of the streetwear style, usually there's a pop of colors more in your face. And I
Yeah,
think because it
that's
was all
exactly.
black,
Yeah.
it, it- certain pieces of it were lost. I think this was an opportunity. Like
Mm.
if this was color blocked, if this kind of gave me some old school cross colors or something with this,
Mhm.
it would have taken it to another level. Um, but I also get why you went with black. This is also a formal event,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
interpreting streetwear in formal, it takes a little
Mhm.
bit. It's a little
Hmm.
different.
It's
So
a
I
risk.
appreciate it, but I think like those things would have made like I got what you're saying here.
I and I want to piggyback off of that. That
Hmm.
reminds me of what was it, the Vogue cover that he just did? Just like what you were saying, the pops of color with the green overcoat, and he had like the polka dot pant, like that would have been perfect because it was still street to an
Yeah.
extent, and it was just like his little spin on it. So I do feel what you were saying. Like if it would have been me, boy,
Hmm.
it's all right. The Met would have
Hmm.
never invited me. It's okay. It's
And
okay.
speaking of that, I feel like we need to have some sort of event, not a Foxtails, but like we need to have our own
Mhm.
dandy dandyism event
Mhm.
in the sewing community that we can
That'd
work
be fun.
to interpret and have
Well,
yes,
I'm
We
doing a
got
little challenge right now called
you
"So Tailored for
are.
You."
Yes,
So I
tell us
think
about your challenge.
so tailored for you is really kind of because the dress code for this event was tailored for you. It really is calling sewists to tailor what they make to themselves, and not only
mm,
focusing just on tailoring. That's what I did, but also thinking about how you tailor it to your style and to your message, because this is
Mhm.
also about that visibility perspective of dandyism.
Yes.
So we have already started seeing people kind of submit their entries and stuff for So Tailored for You. This is also an opportunity. One of the things that is coming out of this is I'm writing an article for Love Soy magazine, kind of
mm.
culminating and wrapping up the Met Gala. And so there's an opportunity for your look to be featured in my article and be published in the article out of
Oh,
the
that's
UK.
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys
Oh,
hear
and
that, right? So tailored for you. Make
absolutely.
sure to check out Julian Creates page for more information on that. Okay, so Carol said, although it's dandyism in the Met Gala, you have to remember that these pieces were made with the client in mind. I I understand that and I respect that with the client in mind. However, you're paying $75,000 to come. You also should have some reference and work to execute the theme as much as you
Yeah.
can. I felt like there were some people who just, you know, did not even put any thought into anything, and they just put anything on to show up. And then there were some that really looked and tried. So let's go in a little bit further, and then I want to showcase some of the looks that we can show here, and show our favorites, and also kind of show what we did not like. But let's shift gears. Who do you think really understood and embodied superfine tailoring, black style, and the tailored for you dress
The
code?
ladies.
Were there any celebrities
Tiana.
who who blended tailoring, black style influence, and their own personal flair beautifully?
Tiana. For me.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. For
Tiana,
sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Tiana Taylor. I think we all agree. Tiana Taylor was a big one for us. Would you all agree, Tiana Taylor?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
1,000%.
Oh yeah,
And I'm
Janelle
going
Monae
to
always
pull
brings
her
it.
up while we're.
I wasn't expecting this, but Janelle Monae always is always on point. So she was already a given for me.
Yeah, Jody was also my
Mm-hmm.
second. And then when you hear the
Mm-hmm.
history of how it is based off of Black equestrian style from the 19th century and what women's wear was then, Coco Jones
Mm-hmm.
was also like the women did,
Women
like
did.
the
Mm-hmm.
Black women did what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
They
not
were.
listening, and people not even really talking about it, but I feel like for Whoopi to come like she did,
Oh, she. Oh
that
yeah.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm
She was
saying? Like
another one.
that
Yeah.
was 100% Whoopi. Like I was 100% her style, the way like I was very impressed with her, and she knew it too. In every interview
Mm-hmm.
they were interviewing her, she knew it. She knew she came correct. So, but yeah, the
Yeah.
ladies by
Also,
far.
and then also when you hear so like with Tiana Taylor, yes, the shoes and stuff were custom Marc Jacobs, but it was also done by Ruth Carter. Then you have Janelle
Mm-hmm.
Monae, who was done in collaboration with um Tom Brown, but it was also done by what's his name? Is another the one who just won pattern costume design for Wicked. So
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
like so there was that incorporation of Black designers is Criswell, Andrew Criswell, I think I'm getting it all wrong, I think. But it so you
Mm-hmm.
have that incorporation of Black design into this process, but we also knew who was going to like when you think of tailoring, there are certain designers that you Tazewell, thank you, Lynn.
Yes.
You do know who like you already kind of expected certain people to do it right. Tom Brown, I expected to do it right because this is his
He
wheelhouse.
Tom Brown was
Yes.
hitting the marks
Mm-hmm.
at the
Yeah.
marks. He was hitting the
Yes.
marks.
but don't y'all?
And
I'm
I
sorry.
really appreciated that for him.
I think it's kind of weird the fact that, and I'm sorry, I'm pivoting, but we're gonna come right back. It was for me. It was kind of weird
Yeah.
the fact that Doechii didn't go back with Tom Brown, like because they had done so well in the past. Like
But
they were.
but I understood why she didn't
Mm-hmm.
because this was sponsored by Louis
Mm-hmm.
Vuitton. So
Mm-hmm.
they
Okay.
needed to have one of the hosts in Louis Vuitton beyond just Pharrell.
Her.
That is true. But even with what she had,
Yes,
with what
Joey.
Doechii was wearing,
Joey King, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. That was one
Yes,
of my
ma'am.
favorites.
I thought that she could have done a little bit more,
Hmm.
personally, with the look. I wasn't too. Dochi's look was okay. Um,
It
Dochi's look was
so from the
okay
top
to
up,
me.
from the waist up, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It lost me with the shorts and then the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
shoe. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think if it
Yeah.
was, it would have been hot if you did like that Taylor short, but it had like some type of over the knee military style boots or
Mm-hmm.
equestrian
Mm-hmm.
style boots or something like that. Because it was kind of giving a mix of jockey and also it gave me like with the hair and the shoes and stuff like that it was giving me Munchkin Land.
Yes.
But from the top up,
So here's Dochi's
I liked
look.
it.
I'm showcasing Dochi's look for you all to see. This is Dochi's look here, and this is what Julian was referencing about her
Yeah.
look. Yeah, it fell short right there. It fell short right at right from the waist down.
And Julie and I were talking
Yeah.
about this yesterday. In fact, like we were because he had commented when I said it. I mean, again, from the waist up, great. And you know me, I always love to mix prints. So I mean, I appreciated that as well. But yeah, it was yeah.
So Lynn says she liked it. She loved it because it gave her old school dapper. I Lynn, I agree from the top up. I agree with Julian and everyone else. I just thought that she could have done a little bit something else down from the hair, the
Jackson
afro,
Five.
her ascot, her the tie. I thought she did a good job, but
Yes, Cardi did
yeah,
a good.
Yeah.
I loved
yeah.
actually who surprised me was Angel Reese. And I saw her look, I was like, oh, that was beautiful. The fit on her was perfect.
Mm.
Mm.
I ain't gonna talk about the athletes.
Oh, you didn't like Angel
Listen,
Reese's?
when I talk about athletes, I put them all in. But Angel Reese, I mean, she's from last year, this year, you know, as someone said to me, for her it was really good. For her it was good.
Also Usher's wife, she ate.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think again, some of the
Oh,
shooting
okay,
was
yeah.
right.
So let's yeah.
Yeah.
Joey King in
No,
the
no, no. Go
green
ahead,
pool.
Julian. I'm pulling up all
Yeah.
of the picture references right now, just so that we can see a little bit,
Yeah.
because I know some people may have not seen, or as we're talking, we want to do that.
Hmm.
So, I just want to go in. So now that we kind of geeked out. Now for sewing geek out, let's kind of talk about this. Let's each pick one look that had incredible construction details, tailoring technique or fabric choices, craftsmanship, and talk about how we think it was made. So let's talk about those seam finishes, embellishments, any silhouette or shaping that you think. I know we had our favorites, but if there's one that stood out for you for tailoring wise, let's talk a little bit about this. And then I'm going to pivot from our conversation and then kind of go through each of the
Hmm.
pictures so that can help us as we move along with this live. And if you guys have questions as you're watching us, let us know.
So at least for me and my perspective, the one thing that I have to put them in a group. All things by Oswald Boateng
Hmm.
did it for me last night. All tailored pieces
Hmm.
by Oswald
Hmm.
Boateng were amazing. Um, and it was
Hmm.
not only, of course, the tailoring, but his use of fabric and the type of fabric that he used. Because of course, remember this exhibit is called Superfine, and when we
Yeah.
think of suiting, there is a fabric that is called Superfine 120, 140, 160, 180,
Mm-hmm.
220. So
Mm-hmm.
he used
Yes.
superfine wool fabric, and you get that for the amount of ounces within the inch of wool that you have. How much grams of wool are used into making that fabric? But that was not only he also when Oswald Boateng designs, he is using specific prints that actually even harken back to some of the things that you see out of tribal Africa and some of the different kind of
Hmm.
cultural cloths that people weave together. He does it in a smaller order
Yes.
in suiting. But then even like on Issa Rae, you can see that it was a tone on tone black that looks like a lot of African prints that you can use for different cultural wear. So the way that
Yes.
he does things and the way those things fit, it fit correctly. Even if you could tell that people had been sitting before they got on the carpet, but it still looked right. Because some of these suits, you can see drag lines from
Hmm.
side kind of going to the front. Like some of them were a
Yeah.
little off,
Yeah.
but his
I saw some drag lines in Zendaya's.
we
I
did.
did, but I
We
loved her
did.
suit. But I did see some drag lines in
We did.
Zendaya's.
But we also saw some in
And
Pharrell's.
Yes.
that is
Yes.
true.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
Issa's, I wasn't too keen on Issa's. I needed some color from her, but when I looked further at the fabric, I did appreciate
Hmm.
that. So yes, keep
But
going,
Burner Boy
Julian,
was
and
was my
Jazz.
favorite because of the ill skin cape.
You said who?
Burner Boy.
So some people, was it Score? Was it your page? Or
It was.
no,
It was
maybe that
mine.
was
It
my
was mine.
Yeah.
sister that said that looked like Ronald
Oh
McDonald with the
no, no,
orange
that
and the
wasn't
yellow.
me.
They
That
didn't
wasn't me. That
like
was my
it.
I
sister.
so because especially like I liked it was a harkening back how we don't see ill skin that much anymore. And that is a very it harkens
Hmm.
back to a time in menswear that you really don't that was really
Yes.
mid-century. And to be using it in a cape and not just in like a shoe, that really like the way that that was excellently executed. And ill skin is very supple and soft, and for it to be used in a
Hmm.
cape like in a cape fashion. First of all, that's a lot of eels, a
Yes.
lot of them, but it was
Hmm.
gorgeous to me.
I just want everyone to understand that this is Julian's ish right here. Like this whole
Hmm.
genre,
Yes.
this is it. So you can tell when he's saying it. I just don't want people to think because sometimes I just be listening to Julian. I'd be like, man, this boy's going off. He's about to go, but it's because he really appreciates it. And if y'all would have looked at his suit, which is right behind him, that he wore and that he did himself, I mean, let's just be real
Yes.
about the situation. You know what I'm saying? So
And look, we're all on this panel, and we are specific because we're outspoken about this design, this Met Gala, about designing, tailoring, and also how we love the looks. Unfortunately, Lynn was not able to join us, but Lynn was, as a costume designer, was going to add some insight, and she's here in the comments. Like, y'all shout Lynn out because she's not feeling well. She's a little sick. But we truly enjoy these
Mm-hmm.
conversations. Coming from New York City, for me, the fashion capital of the world, I'm going to say that I enjoy watching the fashion, seeing them, and also interpreting them in my sewing makes and my sewing looks. And I think we all kind of love, and do that. So this Met Gala, I will say, though I was underwhelmed at points, inspired a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it brought the conversation, and everyone is talking about it. So, and that's what we're doing here. So as we continue, I want you all to talk about it too. Let's get into it. So Jazz, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to remember, but I know for shape, like looking at a couple of things. I look at construction a lot. It was actually three like details that stood out to me. For shape, I would say it was
Mm-hmm.
Tessa Thompson. Her silhouette I really liked.
Mm.
Mm.
For details, it was Cynthia. I don't know how to say that, her last name,
Cynthia
Aribo.
Rebo.
Yes, I liked hers. And then there was this one, I can't think of his name, but he was just on White Lotus. He had like the like, I think it's like shoulder pads, all like stitched onto him. And he had the the pants that were all like kind of like lined up along his. It was different, but I
Yeah.
liked it personally. Like it was something that like, oh, that's very unique, and kind of, if you know the process of tailoring, kind of reminded you of that, which I really appreciated seeing that like detail added in.
And because that was Tom Brown, so like Tom Brown did two kind of similar skirt detail where it was the pants and it looks like that deconstruction. So that was all part of
Are
Tom
you talking
Brown.
about
Eco.
Goggins? What's his name? I know his last name was Goggins.
Yes.
I got you. I got what you're talking about.
He was his was a toss up for me. I was going back and forth, but then when I went in to do a little bit more research, and I think that that's the thing too. Do we need to have to do research and find the reference as to what it is, or should we know outright when we
Yeah,
see it? I think that that's a couple of things. Yesterday, I know when
Walter Goggins.
I was posting based off of exactly what I saw,
Mm-hmm.
how I felt,
Mm-hmm.
and what it was looking like. I didn't quite think, okay, let me get the reference. Unless on the red carpet, if they were talking a little bit or if they may have said something, then I was able to get those references and those particular things. For instance, Coco Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I love the look. However, on the red carpet as she was walking, those pants did not fit her
Mm,
in her
mm,
crotch area. They were, they were baggy. Like they did not they did not account for her bosom in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just that part kind of fell short, and I thought she needed a hat. So those little additional details. I had people asking me in the comments, what's the theme? What's the theme? And I'm like, look it up.
mm.
We was like, it's everywhere. But at the same time, it was great education,
Mm-hmm.
to see. So I'm finalizing some stuff where you and we can all kind of go through.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit more. Scorp, what were some of yours?
So I would have to say like I grouped them as well. Um, I think Ugo Mosey did a great job with Kabi Lame. It's with the accessories and the detail with the mini clocks that he had, but then even with the
Mm-hmm.
suiting, it wasn't. I think everyone was going the more tailored route, and he went like the slightly
Mm-hmm.
oversized, deconstructed, and it fit really well, especially like that. I did not expect that from neither one of them, to be honest with you. And then with Caleb McLaughlin, like we've seen this young man since Stranger Things. He's been doing his thing, but
Mm-hmm.
then it was beautifully constructed. I think it was a blend of kind of like with that equestrian vibe that we were talking about, but it was just really good tailoring. And then again, the details with the accessorizing and the lapels really set him apart. With the gloves, cane,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he did really well.
Mm-hmm.
One that we have not, like, I have not heard a lot of people talk about, but I loved the inclusion of was Malumba and his zoot suit, that purple brocade zoot
Mm-hmm.
suit, and really
Mm-hmm.
tying in the Hispanic culture and how that also played
Mm-hmm.
into zoot suiting and dandyism. Because, and there were a few people
Mm-hmm.
that we saw on the red carpet who were giving the dandy perspective from different cultures. So it
Hmm.
was the guy who was wearing Probo Garung. and it was Indian Western, like full Indian wear. He looked like
Mm,
Indian royalty, but also
mhm,
talks about
mhm,
how colonialism plays a part in dandyism throughout the ages and how they all tie together.
Mm-hmm.
So to see some of that as part of the process, really, it just like I love the history and I love the slow burn of history where I have to go and look it up so that I can even understand it more. That really kind of helped just that made me happy because I love this type of stuff. But it
Mm-hmm.
was actually
Yeah, because you love the
I
history
do.
of it.
That's but y'all know me. I'm a little crazy like that. But the one who was wearing Rosa Parks in a crotch because that actually made it
Lisa,
worse.
Lisa,
Because
Lisa. That's her name.
literally, and I came up with a song for it, but I can't say it on live. I had to send it to you. But like I love the detailing of the embroidery,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason that on a bodysuit you should have civil rights leaders that go all the way down like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you had beading and other
No.
pieces throughout. Especially when you know that it's lined in satin. Why couldn't it have stopped there? You had it on your jacket. Like it should not have done that.
Yeah.
That was just did not give what you wanted to give. It looked like you basically had the civil
I
rights coming out your crotch.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like
It
it.
also
I
didn't
didn't like
fit.
it. So let's
It
talk.
didn't fit. It was actually
I didn't like
the gusset was too wide, and it made her look like she had a cod piece on.
Okay, guys, we are almost there where we're going to go through some of our looks, some of our faves, some of the ones that didn't stand out to us. So let's keep talking. If you want to take some of the distasteful, the comments from the audience, let me see what people are saying. Jodie Foster, Tiana and Riri,
Hmm.
Carrie and Monet. Oh yes. Zach Posen's look was fabulous as
It was.
well. Laura
Yes.
Harrier. I like the white girl with the green suit.
Yes.
She said she doesn't know her name.
But
Those are one
first
of
of
my
all,
favorites.
Um,
yeah,
Hmm.
that was like the way that was done. Brought color because we did not see a lot of like color.
Color.
We saw a lot of jewel
no,
tones.
it was besides her and Cardi with that
Hmm.
green, that
And I feel like the
it
pictures don't
looked
do it
so.
justice. On video, is it was so
Oh,
like it looks so
Yeah.
good.
I was like, where can I get mirrors from that won't break that I can put on the back of my suit? Yeah, I'm about to put that up too. Julian, yes, play that one again. Um, it literally it was gorgeous as she was walking, the lights were hitting
Hmm.
it, everything.
Hmm.
It just it was
Hmm.
chef's kiss. Um, Joey
Yes, Joey
King.
King.
Yeah, the ruler, the
I
dress was
love that.
insane. His
I
garments
love
were
that.
yep. Brian Tyler Henry was one of
Hmm.
my
I
faves.
liked his
La
too.
Roche, he played it safe.
He's
All of
another
his
letdown.
clients played it safe.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't even know what La Roche had
Let Joey.
on.
No,
first of all, you have to look for LaRoche because you have to look for the little he had on a
The
little
blonde.
613
blonde.
bust down bob
He pulled that back out. I remember he had it one time. I'm like, what
with
are
the
you doing?
lace with the
He
lace
pulled
on
it
full
back
display.
out. Somebody said Ken.
I said, who's this?
Oh man.
But also
It's
is
oh, it said Pharrell. Somebody said Pharrell designed.
yes he did.
Marquisha said Pharrell designed those civil rights.
He did.
Oh heck
He did.
no, he needs
That was a full Louis Vuitton look. That was a full Louis
Oh.
Vuitton look.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pharrell.
So
Pharrell, you know better
so
than
if you
that.
notice, La
Pharrell.
Roche basically, first of all, La Roche dressed a lot of people beyond just the people he did with Burberry. He also did
Mm-hmm.
Burberry's table.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically all dressed, most of Burberry were all dressed in that it was a burnout velvet.
The
I
lace was wavy.
Mm-hmm.
it's May. Why are we wearing burnt out velvet? So some of it worked well because it was some opening up here. So like even with like Angela Bassett, because it was cut lower
Mm-hmm.
and it provided some skin look. Because otherwise, I'm looking at you hot. Like I
Hmm.
got hot flashes. But some of the guys that were wearing it, it was fully buttoned up, and I'm like, you look like you a couch. And in May, it's hot. No, but like it worked on certain people, not on everybody. For me,
That's true. So someone on D Diane Diary, sorry, but Diane. She says, talent wise, she would have loved to have seen August Darnell, Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah band as a performer. He's old school New York City dandy and had been killing it since the 70s with his suits. So I need to get a reference on him. Dia Rose, I have not seen his stuff and I may have missed it not knowing his name, with us seeing it.
So
Okay.
and it was interesting. So, like even some of the icons that I wanted to give more. This is going to be a hot take
Mm-hmm.
and a very unpopular opinion, and I might
Okay.
get canceled. I don't care.
Oh
Um,
shit.
Listen, we're having an honest
I
convo.
adore Dapper Dan. I adore his
Mm-hmm.
messaging. I adore his style. This literally, when coming up with this, Dapper Dan was a reference with Logomania. It looked
Exactly.
messy. I just wanted the shirt to be tucked in,
Yes.
and I did not need the lace. I
I
love the
Mm-hmm.
Logomania of the Sankofas on it. I just
Mm-hmm.
would love to have the
Mhm.
shirt tucked in. But he's also 80 years old. He can wear whatever the hell he wants, and it is going to work.
That is true.
I you know, I
Oh,
no
go
no
ahead,
I
Squirt.
agree with you, Julia. I agree with you, Julia. But I don't think it's necessarily just with this outfit either. But
No, it's not.
I,
It's not at
yeah,
all.
I'm
But
just saying
here,
like
I
for
wanted it
yeah, yeah, yeah. For
buttoned
me,
up.
I would say it was more busy and
Mhm.
messy. Like it was just like, because like I think one of my followers said it's like sometimes less is more. Just less is
That's
more in a
it.
sense
Needed an edit. It needed an
to
edit.
to to get the point across. Like sometimes when you're that name, and I get it. Like this is kind of goes to what we were saying with the whole Coleman Domingo and the Lewis Hamilton. But Dapper, we know you. We know what you embody. We,
Mm-hmm.
we know it's going to be a jacket, something under, and something under that, plus this. But
Yeah.
mm, it
But
was.
then when you see the inspiration behind it, the thing was is that because he showed it on one of his pieces, like if you look at one of the pages, there was a drawing of it. The shirt was tucked in and it was
Mm-hmm.
a basic
Mhm.
shirt. I think when you add everything was
Yes.
sequined first off, then you add like head to toe it was sequined. Then you add
Mhm.
on the
Mm-hmm.
like all the other pieces of it, the shirts out, everything like that. It just got to be a lot. And then you have lace on the collar and the cuffs. Wasn't
Yeah.
necessary. Another person I thought similar to was Al Sharpton. I saw
Woo!
that and got absolutely mad. I was
I
pissed.
actually like
You look
Al's.
like a YN from the neck down. You look
Hey,
like you
listen,
are 17 years old going to prom
I said there
with
was
an old
nothing
ass
about
head.
what there was.
Oh my God. Okay. So we are about to, okay, y'all keep talking. We are about to showcase these looks so you all can have reference and see, because I know we're showing them from our phones and everything like that. We want to talk a little bit about Holly Berry's look.
Oh
I
Lord.
personally liked Al Sharpton's
I didn't
look,
see him.
Chance the Rapper. Let's talk about that. Let's talk
Let
I
me
didn't see
find.
about
Chance
our
either.
little Olympian. Um,
I like Chance. I will show you Al Sharpton. So here's the thing. Because like I expect certain things, especially from certain leaders and who
Mhm.
live through it from the jump. So when you are wearing
Literally.
a very modern cut with these cuffs and puffs at the sleeve, it was I'm like, what you doing? Like if nobody else, like I've seen you wear a fur and everything back in the day. This was not what I like. Mm-mm. This is not what I wanted from you. It was cute. It was cute. I ain't gonna say it was bad or was badly executed. I just did not want it on you.
Yeah.
Okay, Jazz, what did you think about Al
I didn't.
Sharpton?
I
Do you
didn't
all
see
agree with
it.
Julian? Audience, are you all
Let me find.
agreeing with
I'm trying to
Let
pull
me
it
Julian?
find
up.
because I gotta find the picture that I'm thinking of. Well, here's him coming out the car.
Yeah, let me pull it up too because I actually liked it.
He reminded me of like he was about to be passing out hors d'oeuvres.
Aw. He looks
I was
adorable.
I'm gonna leave my Al
I was
Sharpton
He looks
alone.
confused.
adorable. Like let him. That's Pop Pop. Let him live.
No,
No,
because it looked like Papa
Oh
was
boy!
dressed by his great grandchild.
like
Oh my goodness,
like only like no. I'm just
Julian!
saying it's like but I agree with Julian. Like you almost expected YBN NBA YoungBoy to be singing with him walking
Yes,
out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
like
Y'all
you
better.
about you giving like you about to give me full on trap music or something like that. You about to perform. No, do not do that. I expect more from you. Like, this is the perfect, like, especially when this is political. And we talk about
Yeah.
from a political era and a level of visibility. This is not what I want to see from you. I wanted to see
That is true.
impeccably taste. I wanted to see cut. I wanted to see, like, you could have, like, um um Debbie Allen's husband. He gave me straight Detroit.
Mm.
I
Uh-huh.
wanted that from Al Sharpton
Uh-huh.
because I've seen it
Uh-huh.
fine and I've seen it done well.
And I think the important thing is because, like he was saying, it's like it came. You were through that generation. You know what I'm saying? Like we, like look at the sir.
I'm looking at.
It's
I don't know how I missed
again, it's
this.
a beautiful garment. It's gorgeous.
You know what I loved? I love the blouse. I love the
No,
sleeves. He and
I
I are
don't
twinning
want
with
him
the
in a
sleeves.
blouse.
I don't exactly.
You not out here talking about this is not what like you there because you are a historical figure and an icon. No. No, like there because you already have a legacy that's built in. And your legacy
Mhm.
is built in, it's not on display here. It's coming from, yes, I need him. I want him from the perm streets. I want him when
Facts.
he used to wear the roller sets. Like you could
Facts.
tell he just came out of
So
Beulah's
you
Bust a
were
Girl.
expecting him. I see. He should have had the finger waves
Yeah.
coming with the
I wanted him in a
Yeah.
wigs,
fur.
the pink
I wanted
roller,
him in a purple suit.
ascot,
Listen,
a zoot suit.
I was mad. Like I want you to look like you came straight out the Baptist church, like with like, because honestly, that's the one thing we did not see. Like,
at
so
all.
one of
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
Mhm.
nobody really picked up on the church suit look that is also
Mhm.
dandy.
Yes.
So we did not
Mhm.
see any of that, which was very interesting
And
to
it's
me. Like,
springtime, Easter Sunday.
yeah,
Like,
we got the Easter
Yes.
hats in some of the women, but I did
Mhm.
not get any of that. And it was very
Yes.
interesting that, like, now that I think about it, like that was missing for me.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree, Julian. I will agree with you on that one. That definitely was.
It's funny
Mm.
because there are people who were saying like we almost expected like Smoke and Stack inspired suiting to be out there.
You
And
know
I was
what? I
thinking,
was expecting to
I was
see that
waiting.
smoke
I
and
was
stack. I
waiting.
sure
I was
was.
like, nobody? Not even like a pocket watch? Not even like a just it was
I mean, you had some people that had the pocket
yeah.
We did.
watches and stuff.
We
You
did.
did. You sure did. You did. You had a few. You had a few on there, but it wasn't like you said. Yeah. It was just a little. Yeah. We were a little all over the place with some of the stuff. There wasn't a real cohesion, which I think from previous themes in the Met Gala, there was some cohesion. Um. So let's talk a little bit further about some other people that we didn't really
The
like.
athletes.
Megan.
Megan the Stallion, I didn't like
But
her.
she's never been on.
I
It's
didn't
okay.
like
We're gonna let her go.
So,
She's not a style
but
person to
also
me.
when I saw the actual, like, so somebody posted the inspiration. I like it took me like I got it once I saw the inspiration. It was Josephine Baker, but I'm like, I've seen Josephine
Mhm.
Baker looks that were dandy. You could have went
Mhm.
there
Mhm.
instead of like.
Mhm.
I understand what you did. Um.
Mhm.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about Serena. We ain't gonna talk about the Williams sisters because that was a mess.
Like I said, athletes. Athletes.
No, we can talk about them. We could
I
definitely
will
talk
take over
about
the
them.
athlete section, but I
Please.
wanted to continue on this because what people also, especially when let's talk about the athletes. Let's go ahead because I've been festering.
Let's talk about the
Yes.
athletes, and then I will, in like 2 minutes, I'm about to share the screen so that we can all kind of go through and look. Yeah, Pamela Anderson, I don't know what's going on with her.
She doesn't wear
yeah,
makeup
yeah.
anymore, so I'm like, okay, but
Yeah.
I understand. But then go into that whole alienness. Lean
Damn.
into it. Lean
she
into
did because the
the
dress
no.
didn't fit. The
no
dress looked like it was like literally a cocoon over top of her.
She looked plump. I didn't understand it.
It was like it did not go with shape. The dress had shape, but it was not shaped on the actual. It did not shape to her body.
Yeah.
And then you have all
Yeah.
this sparkle with a bare face.
Mm.
Mm,
So yeah,
mm.
Lacoste is not who I would go for. I don't think of Lacoste
Mhm.
At,
for formal wear.
No.
Mm-mm.
But
at
you
all.
wore knit, you wore PK, and added feathers.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
you wore it at your like at a you didn't wear it at your natural waist. You wore it at a pants waist length. So it gave you a muffin top. And when you add then you added the PK to it with weight and then put on some type of
Mhm.
loafer with a heel. It was
Oh man.
I struggled.
Can we talk about Gail King?
Shout out God in the name of
Huh?
Jesus.
I'm trying to remember what hers looked like. I saw her, but I don't remember.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put hers up in a
That was
second.
another
So
one.
give me 1 minute.
She could have left that in the
But
outer
okay, so
space.
let's talk.
She could have left that in outer
Yeah,
space.
I said that. I said she went out of space and lost her style. But then someone reminded me and said, Monica, did she ever really have style? I
No.
said, no, but I think she just lost it
But
even
she
more.
at least
Like
understood
it was.
fit. The fact that that did not fit and you would make it plaid, that was bad. That was bad. That was
For
bad.
me, what
Oh
what
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
say is
The fit was very bad. Yeah, that was. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it was
So
very
let's
poor.
talk about that. Even
My
if people
my
didn't
students can
get
do
the
better than
reference
that.
of, even if they did not get the reference of dandyism, tailoring was one of the biggest things.
hmm
Mhm.
That was the biggest part of the theme.
hmm
The superfine black, superfine tailoring. And I felt like it fell. I didn't see it a lot in a lot of the different things. Let's talk a little bit about Savannah James. There's a big
Yeah.
controversy with Savannah James. Now I know Anifa who designed African
hmm
designer, believe she's from Nigeria,
hmm
right? Is that correct?
hmm
Yes, Maryland. Shout out to Maryland and everything. And I'm so proud
Mhm.
of her. But there was something that was
Yes.
disjointed with me with that
Yes. It's
dress.
the
And
panel, the
as I looked,
nude. That's what
Yeah.
the
she
panel
should have
at
used
the waist, the
corset
corset
mesh
part.
that will blend in with her skin or something. It was just it's I don't know. That's the
It
only
should have
everything
been
else what I
either
loved.
burgundy.
Yeah.
It should have been either
Something. Yeah.
burgundy or
That's what
just
threw it
not
off.
there. Should have just been her flesh, her
Mm-hmm.
skin tone. And I understood where she was kind of going with it. But the more I looked at it, I don't know, were we supposed to see the stitching with the
We
contrasting
were.
thread? Was that a
That
part of
was.
I
it?
think
So
so.
that
Okay.
was it was supposed to
So
give
let's talk a
tailoring
little
and
bit.
how like so basically
Mm-hmm.
when you get a
Mm-hmm.
bespoke suit, most of the things are like basted in. And so that is that
yeah.
basting
Mm-hmm.
process that is part of the suit. I think
Mhm.
also part of the issue is that I did not like it got really heavy at the bottom with so many layers of
Mhm.
fabric. It also had like that extra
Yes.
trimming, like it had like a fringe, and I think it was supposed to make it look like the fabric was fraying, but the whites did not match into where they were supposed to lay in the trim. It was different, and so it
Mm-hmm.
just made it heavy to me. But the fake torso
Yes.
did not do it. Lala Bell on YouTube said about Demi Moore, she did not understand the assignment. She actually did. She really did. And
I
it
liked
was a
it.
slow burn. It was a
It
real
was a
slow
tie.
burn.
You know, it was a tie.
Yes.
A literal tie.
Yes. It was a
Mm-hmm.
tie.
I like
I will
Demi's
say,
actually.
you know what, at first when I saw
I
Demi's, I
didn't get
didn't
it.
get it and I didn't
Right.
like it.
Until I
But
got it.
that's why I said, and that's what I'm saying earlier. That's what I said earlier in this. We were going off of our reactions
Hmm.
initially. So at first, when I saw it, I did not know. I didn't hear anyone talk to her at the
hmm
time. But when I saw that it was a tie, was that also Tom
Yes, it
Brown
was. hmm
design? And so once I saw that and saw that it was a tie, I was just like, she got it and she took it futuristic with it.
hmm
So I'm definitely can change my mind on that particular one. What did you all think about Demi
I liked
Moore's
it.
tie?
It was fire. Yeah.
Tie
Once I
tie.
And
got
because
it, like on first sight, I didn't understand it. But once I got it, I was like, I like
And I
it.
think her pose had to be a certain way for you to kind of see the shape for it to really
facts.
like
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? Y'all keep bringing it up.
Definitely.
Listen, they said Jalen Hurts the best dressed athlete, Justin Jefferson. So this is what I'm gonna say about football players. NFL. You know,
Yeah, let's talk about the
for a very
athletes.
long time, the thing about football players is this. That's one of the few sports where they're covered up all the time. Outside of the sideline, you know, you take your helmet off, they be having the chains and the earrings, which to be honest with you, it's stupid. Like why are you wearing 18 like why are you wearing diamond earrings playing a game? It's dumb. So, but they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
keep up with the Joneses. I understand it because your contracts aren't guaranteed. You're not getting paid like NBA players. You're not getting paid like baseball players. Like I get it, but the thing is this: they try and do too much. It's when the bright lights are on them, they try and do too much. Now I get it. Eagles just won the Super Bowl. They got invited. Saquon, this isn't dinner date with wifey. Like, seriously, what was the effort that was put into it? A black suit. Was it nicely tailored? Sure. But like
Mm-hmm.
there was nothing. You gave us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts and his fiance. I get it. Like, you know, when you look at the outfit, like yes, with the embellish, with the embroidery and all that, yeah, it was cool, but like it wasn't on brand. And anyone that says different
Mm-hmm.
is lying. Who was it? Stephon
Mm-hmm.
Diggs. He was trying to give the Prince of Zamunda with
Mm.
the fur,
And
and
I like that.
it wasn't
I
even, it
like
wasn't
it.
even
I
holding
just
up.
it's just I get it because you did reference it with Al Sharpton, and I knew you were gonna like it. But the thing is just like it was just nothing else. It was like he's like,
Mhm.
hey, this is the statement, and then boom. And then Justin Jefferson, I know a lot of people like it. I thought it was I thought it was I just don't think it was tailored appropriately. Like I don't know if it was like a cape
Mm.
or if it was like a shawl or I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of busyness, a lot of busyness going on in the sleeves around it.
Okay.
So and then that was just with the NFL. Then you go over to for me the WNBA, they were the best dressed because these Olympians are USA track Olympians. Like y'all got dressed up in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
They every single one of them. It was
You were hard on them, Score.
and we're not even going to talk about Simone Biles and Owens.
No, it was
No, let's talk about
Sakari.
them.
Shakari.
Takari.
Oh,
Takari.
Sakari.
Shakari was bad.
I swear,
I,
depending on how she walked, the dress kept on, it fell. And I swear it was about to be a knit slip.
Because it was supposed to be like wrapped around, and it was
It was
like you could
higher
tell
in
they were
certain
like,
pictures, and then it slowly started to slope. And I'm like, ooh, I'm about to, mm-mm. And you could see a dark area. I'm like, that could have been areola behind that lace. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
I
yeah,
love her
Mm-mm.
too,
yeah.
but it
Shakari
wasn't.
needed a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. Let's take some questions real quick from the audience, and then we are going to pull up some of these looks. Um, yes, that is Shakari. We're going to pull up these looks so you all can see them. We're going to talk a little bit about our faves
Mm-hmm.
again and touch on the ones we really liked, what we didn't like, and then if there were anybody that we may have forgotten or anybody that stood out to you all that you all like truly love, let us know so that we can discuss it. And I hope you all are enjoying our commentary. I know we didn't do it live last night because it would have been a 3-4 hour Met Gala going through. And then maybe one day we'll actually be there live to actually, do this in studio, have it set
So
up. You
if you go
never
to my
know.
page, Julian Creates on YouTube, I actually did do a live reaction to the whole thing for 3 hours.
oh,
So it is
Okay,
there.
great.
okay.
Wow.
Well, we love
Yeah, I
that.
was
So we're
tired.
gonna go over there
I
and
was tired.
support Jules. You
Yeah.
were tired.
So people are asking, talking about Lupita and Mona Patel. I loved Mona's. I loved
Yes.
the AI incorporation into it, like especially in some of the videos that we saw of that. That was another Tom Brown look with that. I think it was Tom Brown. With the corset, like the sequin corset and stuff like that. Love that. Lupita's, I did love. I wish that hat was cocked ace deuce a little bit. I would have been happy with
Mm-hmm.
that. I will be honest and show my bias. I did not like that it was Chanel. Come on,
I think for me with Lupita, I
go lay
wish
down.
that the
Go
the
lay down.
hat needed to be a little bit bigger for me.
So
Like something
if
like
it
this to
was
give
not
off. It was
bigger,
just
it
too
should not
just
have been on top of like sitting on top of your head. It needed to be
yes.
to the side and more like a
Mm-hmm.
fascinator. It just needed to
Yeah.
look more
Mm-hmm.
I
intentional.
agree.
Come on.
I agree. I will agree with that. I will definitely agree with that. I just thought something was off with Lupita. And I don't know if I really like the color on her per se.
But the
You
color,
know?
the fact there was color, I can get behind because it was not a lot of other color. And then Dylan on Instagram talked about Jordan Roth. I love Jordan. I love his looks. They give me every time.
Whose looks?
Jordan Roth.
Okay.
And he will. They were wearing. I think it's they. They were wearing Laquan Smith, with 10-inch heels,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and that hat was everything to me. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was. I was like, yes. And they just did a full retrospective of all their looks at the Met Gala. for future Met Galas if they did another black inspired theme. They probably need to do black the work of black seamstresses and designers. So
Mm.
doing Zelda Wynn Valdez, doing Elizabeth Keckley, going that route,
Yes.
looking at some of the like women designers of the time. I think that would be a great
Mm-hmm.
look. Also, you
Mm,
could do
mhm, mhm.
um,
Boy, Julian, man,
honestly,
look at him.
you could also do like if even looking at the fashion of the resistance. So looking at the fashion of the black coat tie. So
Mm,
this would be really avant-garde, but if you're taking it really back to enslaved periods, especially like in Mississippi Delta into New Orleans and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and looking at the way that people tied headdresses and different things like that, or how other African prints and African things kind of inspire fashion, that would be neat. But I'm scared of how people would
Beautiful.
do that.
No, well, true. But
Mm.
the DRE, she just said what I was gonna say. She said Afrofuturism. I wouldn't know
Oh
about
yeah,
Afrofuturism, but I wanted to
go
go
lay down,
back to the
go lay down,
foundations, like back
go lay
to.
down.
I want to see how people can, because if you look at it, we have so many Nigerian Americans. We have so
Mm-hmm.
many Africans who are going to London doing BBC films, and then they're coming over
Hmm.
here and taking roles. We have so much. There's so much influence, but yet we're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. We're not appreciating it. So that's why I like Ayo. What her, but she had the Edo, the beads to represent her
Yes,
culture, like that
yes,
type of stuff was
Yes.
yes.
beautiful, and people don't get it because it's not really highlighted or it's not really shown on a grander scale. So I would love to see them do something regarding like the African culture, the roots of it, the foundations. Kind of going what he was saying is like even with the enslaved times, what you were talking about with the head wraps, like we call them geles in Nigeria. Those are
Correct.
something that you can really,
Yep.
really, really show. And I promise you, oof,
What
they
What is
Yep.
also interesting, and I think a missed opportunity. So we did see a lot of like Nigerian designers, Ghanaian designers, and stuff. We didn't see any Congolese,
mm,
and Congolese
mm.
We did not. And the Congolese dandyism, and they
and
are one
Sapieres,
of the
yes,
ones to.
that should have been more
Yes,
vibrant and present.
that should have been. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of
Hmm.
that, to be able to see that. I will say you mentioned something about seeing like Indian
Yeah.
dandyism, right? Or seeing that the cultural references. And now that I think about like Mindy Kaling's dress or some of
Mm.
the other references that I saw, it would have been nice to have seen that. I would love to see the Afrofuture sort of
Hmm.
event, Met Gala, or some sort of event that is inspired by culture.
Hmm.
I think that that's somewhere where we're pushing in, and hopefully that's something that we'll see in the future, or maybe that's something a group will take. So let's go in now. I'm able to share right now on YouTube, and then what I am going to do for Instagram, I will share as we discuss our recap. Okay, so I have here. Let's go to the next. Let
I
me see.
can.
Okay, so we're going to talk about. Can you see
yep.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Zendaya's look and also Tiana Taylor's. We love their looks,
We
right?
did. We
I
did. I
like
love Tiana's
Zendaya's.
more.
Yeah,
1000%.
but I
1000.
wanted more from Zendaya. I feel like I've like this is her same silhouette for a lot of things. So
And I think it goes to what we were saying with we have been spoiled with La Roche and Zendaya. So like now it's like you
Mm-hmm.
got to keep pushing the envelope. Kind of like what you were saying with Coleman Domingo. You think that he toned it down. I would be like, for what? You got to keep up. Like, because if I'm
Right.
pushing barriers and I'm
Mm-hmm.
keeping going, I'm not gonna fall back just for the rest of the world to catch up because you just got to keep pressing the envelope. To me, low key, I think La
Yes.
Roche was just overwhelmed. I think he got a little too busy.
I think
He
so.
got a
That's
little
probably
too,
yeah.
yeah, a little too much on his plate. Because I
He
mean, he's
looked
in
he
right
looked
now. He's
disheveled
doing it.
himself.
Yeah, he looks stressed. He looks stressed.
He did. I will
Yeah.
agree. Okay. So, but these were our top. These were our top two, though, right?
So
For all
Oh,
of
I
us.
wouldn't say top two.
so
Well, I mean, in our top,
Oh yeah, yeah, no,
these
yeah,
were in
they
our
they
top.
make the top. But here's the thing, and what's very interesting because we did see some of that twinning on the red carpet. We did see there was another
Mhm.
person who was
Mhm.
also wearing
mm-hmm,
a white suit. Hers made by Dior, and I
mm-hmm.
and for Dior doesn't have some misses.
Yeah,
I think Dior
That
was
was
more
very nice.
impeccably tailored than this
That's what I
one.
was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
that's true.
than this
That
one,
is true. That is very, very true. This one did have some drag
especially in
lines.
the
I
pants.
noticed that even in her
Yeah.
shoulders and stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, but I hated this on on Tracy Ellis
I
Ross.
didn't care for.
I'm over Marc Jacobs in
I did
this
not like
silhouette.
it.
Like he is into this caricature cartoon
Yeah.
silhouette. And I get it. That's cute, but not here. Not but what I will say,
Hmm.
even though it is oversized, it looks like she's almost inflated like a balloon. That jacket still fits well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
still fits
does.
well.
The tailoring, I will say the tailoring is impeccable in this
Mm-hmm.
one. It's
Yeah.
good. I
It's
won't say
yeah.
impeccable, but it's good because it's simple silhouettes, but you can see it, even the shaping and the fit and all of that stuff. I am a little over the
Yeah.
caricature of the style because I honestly I don't know where you would really be wearing this to
Hmm.
necessarily. This would have been great maybe for our Atlanta Frogtails look, Alice in
Hmm.
Wonderland theme
Hmm.
style, and I understood that. But I thought I wanted more from Tracy Ellis Ross, and I was expecting her to bring it, and not just not this,
I think
you
for
know.
me initially, because I did comment on it initially. Initially, it got me because from a very aesthetic point of view, like when you first see it, I was like, "Oh snap, that's dope!" And then I had to realize where we were at, what the theme was, what they were doing, and the symbolism behind it. And I was like, "It didn't. It didn't."
And I've seen her in other
Hmm.
looks during this collection of Marc Jacobs. The problem with these looks, they are not movable or not walkable. And
Yeah,
especially, and where I'm at, especially as a Black person in visibility, one thing about Dandy's is it was also about the presentation and how you walk into spaces. You cannot do that. You do
Yes.
not look confident and sure in this type of look. You are missing that. And that is
Yep.
also part of the era, like the era of dandyism that you display. Like, and I wanted that. Like, I did not
Yes.
see enough men giving that old school Mo Better Blues,
boy.
Malcolm X type of walks that I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even
Hmm.
what was his name, Baptiste, who was doing the saxophone.
Hmm.
So we're going to talk
Oh,
about him, but
Mm-hmm.
what about this gentleman right here? What did we all think? I think we all love this
so
particular
this
look.
for me, this was one of my two best fits for the guys. Just because
Yes.
number one, I did not expect that from Kabi because he's just no one takes him seriously,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to fashion. But from everything from the suit, the way it fell,
Like.
if you know anything about Ugo Mosey, one of the stylists, this is like right up his alley. And like I was saying, the
Mm.
accessories with the clock and then the trench coat, so that people
Yeah.
forget about the trench coat as well. It's given very like I loved it. Even with the shoes, the caps, it was yeah.
He,
Everything was perfect.
Okay.
especially as a social media
So
person, that
we
was
have,
really like, it's because we
Yeah,
didn't get wisdom. So this gave me a little bit of that infusion that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
facts, facts.
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I didn't even realize that was
Yeah,
him. I did not realize that's my friend that does
Yeah,
who
the
ain't
like
hand.
who ain't
And,
never said a
I did
single word
not
on social
realize.
media.
I
Yeah.
just heard his voice like recently. He
I
talked
did
about
not.
it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I thought I just looked and said, "Oh, who is this chocolate goodness right here? This midnight chocolate." Okay, I have two things that I want to add in here. These are from the audience comments. One is the from the Deary on YouTube. She's saying, "Question for the panel: which annual Black event should showcase?" Hold on, let me take it. I can't see it. Will a show inject a dose of creativity and add a style theme for attendees to explore? Is there one that could do that? And then the other was Lynn. Lynn mentioned there was no one talent representing the
Absolutely.
disabled.
Dang, you're
And I
right.
would
You are
definitely agree
right.
with you, Lynn, on that. And there is still there's still work to be done when it comes to that
Hmm.
community and in terms of just the awareness for it. And I'm not sure if it's going to take a
And that event is
celebrity.
notorious for really kind of being very ableist in how they
Mm,
display and stuff like that,
Yes.
especially because the entrance, the only way that you can be seen is through that staircase, and that
Hmm.
staircase
mm,
is the only
Yes.
way up. So that is definitely, it does come off as a very like, it does not show full diversity of the
It's
world that we live in.
no, and it's non-inclusive in that particular aspect. And I think that's something that we
mm,
definitely have to take a look
Hmm.
at. And then also, to see what would be the best thing. Because I mean, that could be why LeBron James not just,
mm,
he said he was
mhm,
Hmm.
injured. So maybe he
mhm,
was not able to either walk
mhm,
up, you know, the stairs, if that was an
Well, yeah,
issue
no,
for
he did
him.
have
But
he did have an MCL strain. So I mean, he was
mm,
limping after
mm,
game 5. So he yeah. it would have been
Yeah.
an issue. It would have
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, thank you, Lynn, for bringing awareness to
100%.
that. Our next are these two,
Hold on. Hold on. We
Doche.
have to answer Dia Reed's
Yes.
question about like which annual Black event
Yeah.
Oh,
would you host
yes,
in
Dia
Philadelphia?
Reed. Yeah.
Um,
We don't really have one.
I think something would have to be
Some.
Yeah, for
created
Yeah.
sure.
because there isn't, it's not, it wouldn't be an Essence Award, it
Mm-mm,
wouldn't be a BET
definitely not.
Awards, but could they potentially do something to that extent?
Well,
Um, make
I would say Harlem Fashion Row has been really good at incorporating
true, true,
that.
true.
So
they
maybe
have.
they can, as they're continuing to grow, maybe at some point they can kind of have something like that.
And there's been like the 100 Black Men and stuff like that have been doing these walks, these dandy
Yes.
walks, or these apology walks. They just
Mm-hmm,
did one here in
mm-hmm.
Cincinnati. So I think we need to see more of that because honestly, I need it more from. I think normal everyday people will give it more than what we will get from a
Mm-hmm. Because
celebrity.
the comments, people comment like they will, so I want to see. I want to
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
I think so. I think normal everyday people would have definitely given it more, especially there are so many people that I follow that I absolutely love their style and they give off Black dandyism all day, every day. Women who love wearing menswear
Mhm,
style, especially during Fashion Week, and who actually create. Like there's a young lady, I posted her earlier today, Sade. She's in
mhm.
Hmm.
England. Her clothing line is, and I believe she's Nigerian. Her clothing line is The Chemist, and she does it effortlessly chic. Tiffany Battle, she's here in Harlem, New York, does amazing menswear style and how she kind of transitions all of the looks and it still feels feminine but that little bit of masculinity at the same time, and they're all tailored. There's something about, I wanted to see the more tailored look, the fit, the tailoring, and that's what I felt was missing a
Yeah.
little bit. Let's go on a little bit further. So let's talk about these two looks here, and we talked a little bit about Dochi
Hmm.
earlier.
So again, I think like Joe Diggins is going to give us what we want every time.
Mhm,
Period.
mhm.
And the fact that the reference was looking at Black 19th century women equestrian writers,
Mhm.
with Burberry being an
Mm-hmm.
equestrian brand, was amazing. My only thing that I would say that I wish was more there, the pant. I wish there was a crease that went right down the center of
Down
it
the
down to
middle,
her
Mhm.
shoe.
yeah, yeah.
That was my only thing because the
Mhm.
way those pants are cut, it makes it look heavy without a crease down the front. I wish you just had that crease down the front.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm. I agree. Okay. Next up is Lupita and Usher and his wife Grace. So I'm gonna say this: I absolutely loved Usher and his wife's Grace look. Usher did have a hat on earlier in the day.
He
He
had
took it
5
off. I
looks, I
wish he
think,
would
that
have
night.
kept it on for the look. But
He
I
did.
also felt that they could have switched the looks. It would
Mm-hmm.
have been nice to have seen Usher in that style silhouette look. His wife's suit, I want it.
Yes,
I want
it's.
it.
I
I
love
want it
it.
for myself.
It is cute. It is nice. It was
Yes.
interesting the use of like
And
the
we
shoulder
talked.
pads and like or the bust cups at the front on the outside, but I also get it. But it was gorgeous, and the use of the cummerbund into a train was really hot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
yeah.
really nice. Okay. Angela Bassett. I know this is one that some of us didn't agree on. I thought
I
she
loved
shut
it.
it down. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loved the look. I loved the reference. I loved everything about the styling of this and how what she did with it. Nicole
Uh,
Kidman thought she looked
Not for
amazing.
this.
Amazing.
yeah, yeah,
However, I wasn't sure initially. I didn't
yeah.
fit. Her haircut, sick. This is the best I think Nicole has ever looked on a red carpet. Me personally, that's what I think.
So here's my thing. I think first of all, they both look amazing. I love the hat. I love the use of the hat on Angela Bassett with the hair. It's amazing, and I want to say that might have been a black milliner who made that hat.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because there were certain hats made by black milliners for this as well.
Yes, there were.
But Nicole Kidman. So while it did not for me, it's tailored, but you're giving 50s
Yes,
silhouette,
Hmm.
and it's just
yes.
giving 50s white designer.
Yeah,
Um, which I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
why this, why now? But also at the same time, I'm wondering for some of these white women who are coming to this event, did they want to kind of more sink into the background because they
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
realized that they did not, it was not about them in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
So so if that is the
Hmm.
perspective that they were taking, I'm okay. I'm okay
Mm-hmm.
because this is
Hmm.
supposed to be a background to others for others to shine, and especially we have
Mm-hmm.
to realize, and like from the in this climate, in this political climate, for the Met Gala to be able to do this and to continue with this exhibit
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
other
Mm-hmm. I was
agencies and
thinking
Yes.
that.
museums are
I
not
was thinking that. Mm-hmm.
and are backing down. The reason that they're able to do this is because
Mm-hmm.
literally the Met Costume Institute gets no money from the actual Met museum. The way that in their inception, the
Yes.
only way that they are able to raise money is through these type of events. So this is
Mm-hmm.
basically for their
Mm-hmm.
operating program for the year and really showing that they can now dive deeper into the Black dollar and stuff like that privately when nobody else is like when if they were like Smithsonian or something like that, they could not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for that,
Yes.
if
I
that was the
agree.
case, I can better understand this.
I agree. And I will say Nicole Kidman did use a black stylist. I believe Jason
Okay.
Boland styled her.
Interesting.
Yes, because she did reference that, and I agree with all of the other sentiments that you added there. Okay, Kiki
Oh,
Palmer.
Wow.
I love Kiki.
And
I love Kiki. I just love her in general. So anything she does is fine with me.
oh, Scorp, what?
I
What?
love
Scorpo.
Kiki.
Scorp, what's the problem? I love Kiki. She looked good. Listen, this picture, I will say the picture doesn't do it justice on the
It does.
carpet with the reddish hair. Oh, she looked good. I
I
actually
love me some
liked it.
Kiki.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
didn't like
care.
it?
To
So
be
me, Jazz and I
to be
liked it.
fair,
Julian and
to be fair, and I mean again, y'all probably know more about it than me. But it initially when I first saw it, I think it was when she was walking out the car lot or wherever she was at. It was like the lapel. This part right here looked cheap
yes.
to me. Like it
Hmm.
didn't look like it fell the way it was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's supposed to be
Hmm.
taut, and it feel like it was a little loose. But that was just to me seeing it
Okay.
live. Like on a picture, you really can't tell. But when I was seeing it live, it just looked. I didn't like it. But then
Okay.
again,
I
yeah.
understand.
I didn't. So for me, I
You
didn't
were
need the like either the beading or the skirt. What they're competing for me, especially along the front.
Mm. Yeah,
mm,
Honestly,
yeah.
I would rather not have the big voluminous skirt and really focus on doing something with the beading all the way down, like as a column, really sleek, looking like a
mhm.
suit. I like so there were pieces I've seen her in better, and I've seen her do better
Yes,
than this.
yes,
That was my
Okay.
thing.
yes,
And what about him? He did it for
Yes.
me. I
yeah.
loved.
Yeah.
He looked good.
This
He knew
was
what he,
good.
Yes.
he knew
Yes. We
he knew what
said
he
Yes.
was
yes.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah. But it's also Oswald
Okay.
Boateng.
Yes.
It's
He knew what he was doing.
expertly
yeah.
tailored. It's expertly done. So
It's kind of like what Julian was saying. Is like
Okay.
you can tell when he put it on, like he was walking into that knowing that hey,
this was
this
it.
was it, this
Yeah.
was it. Yeah, and the color choice was
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. So I love these two looks here. I did. I will say this. I liked Miley Cyrus in this. I would have loved to have had a blouse underneath or something with an ascot showing some sort of white and the sleeves to pop out a little bit. But I will say that I like the tailoring in this particular dress and in her suit right here. I can't remember her name for the life of me right now. But down to the finger waves, she's giving me been around the world and I in my
Oh, she's
mind. She's
she's
giving me those vibes right
she's a
now.
New York Liberty. She plays for the WNBA. What's her name?
She now the suit that brought it. Like it is like she but it
Mm-hmm.
also she's able to carry the masculine air and attitude with it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yes.
why it gives a
Mm-hmm.
swag that probably
Mm-hmm.
that can like you have to have that in you to give.
Mm-hmm.
Miley's while
Yes.
gorgeous, I did not understand it for here.
Mm-hmm.
For
Right.
here.
Yes.
Right.
I agree. I agree. And other people are saying Miley's a no for yes. Though gorgeous, I thought she needed to be a little bit on theme. That's why I was saying if she had an ascot with the blouse, something a little bit more tailored. But yes, I agree with you all on that. Okay. I will say this. First, Demi Moore's look, we talked about this earlier, was not my favorite initially, but after finding out the reference that it's a tie, loved it. And then hands down for me, Christian Siriano with what he did with
She looks
Lizzo.
good.
I personally
She
love
looks good.
this whole look.
I love the men. We
What are you
quiet. We real
thinking?
quiet.
I love it. Like this
Oh,
looks
that
good
means
to
y'all didn't like
me.
it.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I've seen her in this before. I've
Yeah.
Met Gala before. The same silhouette, the same
Mm,
look. She's done this about two other Met Galas ago.
that is true.
Yeah.
But so while this is expertly done, it was not giving me dandy. That
Yeah.
was my
Oh, no, it's not
it
giving.
did
It's
not
Really?
give
not
that.
damn. But I just love the dress on her. Like the
Yeah.
fit,
It's a
the
gorgeous
silhouette
dress.
looks good
It's a
on
beautiful
her.
gown. It's a beautiful gown. But
It's beautiful gowns.
this is not the time for
I
beautiful
th-
gowns.
yeah, I think it's twofold for me. Number one, it's does Lizzo as a person look great? She does. She looks good. But then even me, and I don't really pay attention that much to. But I've seen it before from Lizzo. That was the first thing I said. I was like, oh, she's playing it really safe. She's like, it was almost like Kim Kardashian. We're gonna do the same silhouette. We're just
Oh.
gonna give you a different. We're just gonna give you something different. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Mm,
just like I get it. Especially she's on her fitness journey. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think my biggest thing was Christian Soriano, especially being like he from kind of our generation. You know what I'm saying? We saw him on the show come up. Now he's been doing his things. Like I expected more from him as well. You know, and it kind of fell flat for me.
so that's the thing. I think I was watching the red carpet with Christian because he was going off on a lot of people he felt were not bringing
He ain't do it
dandyism.
himself.
So,
Oh, oh,
but I don't know. When I saw Lizzo, I felt it. I actually liked it. It wasn't a suit, but I did like where he was going with the silhouette of the style lines of the dress. Out like that to me like a silhouette of a suit in a way. Okay. So let's talk about these next two. One
Kim
I
K, no.
absolutely love. The other one, I'm like,
Cardi B,
that was
yes.
Cowboy Carter personally. So Kim K and Cardi B. Let's talk about them. What were your thoughts? I love Cardi, my
I love
BX
I
Cardi.
sister.
love Cardi.
Yeah.
I love Cardi
Cardi was
now.
giving it.
Hands down, she did it. Kim
And
K,
also the hair for like
And
can we
she's
I
good with
just
the
want to take a
theme
moment for
too.
the hair of Cardi.
yes.
Because it's
Mm.
almost if you looking at the hair, it's giving me that 80s, almost giving me like
Mm-hmm.
high top
Mm-hmm.
gum, but as a bob. And
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
so it's adding more of a masculine air to it. And this is also Burberry. So we're also seeing that burnt out velvet, but because their skin's showing, it
Mm-hmm.
does not read heavy. But
Yes.
Kim, so what I can say for Kim, again, it goes back to people playing in the background for certain things. And if it is, I can appreciate that the whole Kardashians did not try to take over the carpet and did not take
Mm,
they
over a moment that normally is what they do. They did not
yes.
take over the
Oh,
moment.
well, I'll.
they're
So
too
what
vain.
I'll say is this. What that's what I'm saying. For me, I'm definitely not going to give that to the Kardashians. There's no way in the
Yeah, they're
ancient double
too
hockey
vain for
sticks that
that.
they
No,
were like, let me fall to the belt.
I'm
I
not
can
giving
guarantee you that.
I'm not giving
No, I
them a
know, I know,
pass.
Same.
I know.
They're too
But
But
I
then
can
vain.
also, to me though, I honestly I don't give the Kardashians the respect of fashion. Like it does. Like to me, it's never a movement with them. Like for me, it's like okay, Kim Kardashian, you're showing your body again. Oh, you're showing your silhouette
Got
again.
it.
Oh,
Got
you're
it.
showing
They're
your
not
silhouette.
fat.
Oh,
Here's
hey,
the thing.
you're showing your
We're
silhouette.
not, and I think we're all in agreement here. We're not going to the Kardashians for fashion
no,
Absolutely.
inspiration,
no.
even though we're not going to negate their influence on the fashion industry. Okay, that's a whole nother story that
True.
we can talk about when it comes
True.
to neutrals and nudes and
Mhm.
all of those colors and that's the lack of color in a lot of things that the young millennials and stuff are wearing. Okay,
But
let's talk
at what
about
point
these men's look.
but at what point
Yes.
are we gonna have that conversation with them
We
about
can
their
have it.
fashion?
I'm loving this panel because I love the
No, I'm
fact
just
that
saying, like, especially when it comes to the Kardashians, it's like,
oh
yo, the
no,
influence that y'all
let's
have,
have it. Let's
y'all
have it. We
can.
can do this next week, Scorp. If you're ready, we can do this all day. Okay. Because I love these conversations and we'll be ready with the pictures and the references. I love the fact
Yeah.
that we can agree and disagree because we all have our fashion experience and inspirations and things like that. And that's the point. Let's
Mhm.
talk a little bit about these men. I'll let the men go first.
So again, I talked about Malumba at the beginning. I love the use of true zoot suiting. I love the use of the brocade. of in that zoot suit with, and then it was giving California Kings and stuff like that, very
Mhm.
50s eras, 40s, like 30s and 40s. It was just giving Cali, giving uh like like before Watts became Watts, it was kind of like you had a more of a mixture of people. I loved this. I absolutely loved it. And we can see that again. Zoot suits are oversized. What usually happened with a zoot suit is that you would find a suit that was oversized. You would take it to the tailor in your neighborhood, Pookie down the street or something like that, who could bring it down to the body. This was everything, and I love even the volume of the pants is still curtailed at the ankles. So what I was seeing here and what I was really paying attention to, especially for a lot of the men, were hem lengths and the
Yes.
sizing of cuffs. Because some people's cuffs was a little too much, and certain pants were like Pharrell's pants was too short for them to be flares, and it bothered me because you ain't wear the right shoes
Yes.
for it.
A lot of things about me with Pharrell.
Okay, and let's do this. Look, we have a lot of these, so let's kind of go through these quickly. Because I know we didn't have the pictures up at first for reference because we were just talking and kind of going through our points. And what did you all think about this outfit? I believe this wasn't Tom Brown. Was this Tom Brown again?
I want to say it
the
is.
same. Yes, right, and it's the same one that the gentleman from White Lotus wore, but his was more deconstructed. Is that correct? Okay. So
I like
someone
it.
asked, as we go on to the next picture, someone asks, question for the panel, what impact do you think that this event will have on future employability of and visibility of Black designers?
We can only hope and pray. That's the thing. It's like we can't really say like, oh, because we can. I mean, just think about 2025 in general. I mean, we could take it back to a more medial standpoint with Sinners, the movie, being one of the highest grossing horror films and all the Black influence that it had. No one thought it was going to do it. Everyone talking about the deal that Ryan Coogler had. Then you just happen to have this Black dandyism, which to me, like I said, is like I thought people were going to nail it because in Sinners, you saw so much of it. I'm like, oh, it's just a setup. It's a prelude to this. And then it being the highest grossing and then seeing so many Black influential designers and independent designers who are doing their debuts. You would think common sense would say you would want to piggyback on this and ride it, even if you want to abuse it and take advantage of it. But in the fashion industry, you just don't know.
Yeah.
We can hope and pray, but we don't know.
And I'm just going to go to the audience real quick. Yes, that was Paul Tazewell. Yes, thank you. He wasn't Tom Brown. And there should have definitely been commentary to know what the designers were introduced. I will say that depending on what show you were watching for the red carpet, some of them did a good job in terms of knowing who the designers were, but they didn't go as further to say if they were a Black designer or costume designer or, where they actually were from, except for some of the notable ones that you may have all heard. Also, some of the artists and the actors, the celebrities, they also too reference some of their depending on who asked the question. Not all the time did they do that, even down to the hairstylists and stuff. Some of them also reference like who did their makeup, and a lot of them did have Black hairstylists and had Black makeup artists and also had Black stylists, even though they may have went with a white designer. So those are some of the references and things that we have. We are looking to pull, all of that stuff as all of these looks and things come out. But I also implore you all to do your research if there were looks that you liked that you can also look through. So let's talk about, we did talk quickly. We're going to just go through quickly, yes or no, quick thoughts. And then the audience can see, for those of you who may have not watched the Met Gala, we have these two looks here.
Tessa Thompson was top 2. In my opinion, she was top 2.
She was giving me Penguin.
Yeah, I liked it from the top. I didn't like it from the hips down. I thought it just needed to be brought in, but I loved it. It was giving Alice in Wonderland, but I did like that she was going with it and she was executing. Again, it felt a little Tracy Ellis Ross, but a little bit better. And then A$AP Rocky, we talked about him earlier. I thought he could have done a little bit more, but he looked good. His hair was given. All right. Okay, Reggie. I thought it was too much red, and y'all can. Okay, wait. How is Monica telling you guys it's too much red? I know. How and I wear red. I wear red from head to toe, y'all. I thought it was
I,
too much red on
I,
him. I
I don't know if
really
this is a
did.
good face or a bad face, Julian. I don't know.
I loved like we were dying for color,
Yes.
and we got color here. We didn't get a lot of color from a lot of men, and it
Mhm.
was a primary. It did not go burgundy, so I
Uh-huh.
enjoyed that. I loved that it was color, and I loved that it was color head to toe, Gucci down to the socks, color. I loved it. I loved
Okay.
it for that reason.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then our guy in Tom Brown from White Lotus, the actor.
Walton
Scorp.
Goggins.
Yes, Scorp. You said you liked it. I didn't. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
didn't.
whoa, whoa, whoa! I didn't
I
say
said
I
I
liked
liked it.
Oh, it was
I
Jazz.
personally liked
Sorry, it was
it.
Jazz.
it. None of
I
Jazz,
us.
you said
personally
you
liked
liked it.
it for the deconstruction of it. Like that's just for the
I like the
fun, like the
deconstruction.
fun part of it. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. I
loved it.
like the details. I
He
like the
was
I
very
details.
think
good.
a thing for me was on my story. I posted a picture of it because like when you see a still shot, it's cool. But I posted a picture. He was
He
twirling,
was
like he was,
spinning. He was
yeah, he was,
yeah. He was
and
like
like
a
he
clever
was
class.
twirling with it. And so when it was twirling, because it was so deconstructed, it looked like six flaps just going. And then you saw like the threading and all of this, and then you already know he got the forehead and the hair, so it was just going. I was like,
He's
I
so
said,
strange
well,
looking, but I just love looking at him. Like he's just so interesting to look at. Like I love
I
him.
I was a little too. I was yeah. And I thought, and someone did say, Monarch Trinkets Bookie. She did say that she thought Red J should have had maybe some embellishments on the
yeah.
jacket, something to give some
I can see that.
texture. I
I
agree. I
can see
think it
that.
needed texture. Hence why I was saying either some additional layering, some sort of texture,
It
just
needed
the all red
jewelry.
monochromatic.
Sure, yeah.
Just
It needed
something was
jewelry.
missing. Just me
Yeah.
personally. Okay. All righty, my two favorites right
Those are your
here.
two favorites?
No, I mean people. They're favorite
Oh,
people. They're not my favorite looks.
I'm
Andre
sorry. I
3.
didn't mean to call you out like that.
It's okay. Listen, we here for a good time. So Andre 3000, I thought this look should have been at the Grammys. You
What
know,
was
Should have
the
the
stayed.
whole
payback?
story behind it
That's what I want to know.
about, real
He
music and
was a
putting music on
vagabond. He was coming as itinerant, like a traveler.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's what I got.
That's
I
And
thought it
plus,
was
he released
That's
music.
on
He
brand.
released an
yeah.
album
He released
at
an
the same
album
time as
earlier
this.
today. Yeah, he could have stayed.
okay.
Okay.
I
Um,
thought it was that he said music is trash nowadays. I'm the music. I'm coming with the music. That's what I heard. Like the reference. That's why I said
it
Grammys
low
or
key makes
something like
sense though,
that. But it could be me. I don't know. And then I didn't
Yes,
mind this. I thought
I
it was
love that.
okay.
I
I
love
loved
that.
it. I loved
I
it.
loved
Scorp,
it.
you didn't like it?
who is that?
What's his
That's
name?
gosh, I can't think of his name right now.
No,
He's
but
oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. Oh god, his name is Andre. No,
Can
no.
y'all
Andre
help us out?
3000. What's his name? I can't think of it, but I liked it. Did you like it, Jazz?
I mean, it's okay. It reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it, but it's okay.
It's so it's first of all, because it is Regency. It also reminds me of the Haitian resistance. That's why
That's
I
what it
like
is.
that.
That image. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yes.
It was giving like
I,
it was giving what's his name, like the person who led the Haitian resistance.
Yep,
It's of
that's
that
what it
time
reminds
frame.
me of. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it
I
was a
think
flag.
Goggins.
No.
No,
That
no.
was a guy.
Oh, that was the other guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about these two right here. I loved both of their looks.
So this is, I think, Tom Brown. It was interesting. So here, this is what I'm talking about with hem lengths. This is an
Mhm.
opera pump that he is wearing, a shoe that was a lot of times worn by Andre Leontali. I need that hem to be dropped. I know Tom
Yes.
Brown does this short hem, but when you're wearing these full length men's socks and
Yes.
you showing like, I don't want to see this much cuff. I don't want to see this much of your ankle. Yes, it's
Yes.
giving Toussaint. Yes, thank you. But yeah, it's giving
Mm-hmm.
Toussaint. That's what it was giving. But yeah,
Yes.
but I need hems to come down. I need hems to graze the top of your shoe. It could have been a full break, like or it could have been like a very small break, like no break right at the top of your shoe, but it should just come down to the like at least to your instep of your foot.
Yes. I
I
agree.
agree. Yeah, because
Yes.
it's almost giving like from what it's supposed to look like. You know how like dad shoes would be worn, where people
Mhm.
like with short. It's given that, and it kind of sucks
Yes.
because it's a very nice ensemble that he has on.
So
And the
people
a guy in the Toussaint look was Jeremy Harris. That's who it was.
yes, okay. And then yes, I love this blouse. I want this blouse. I need it for myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just want it. I want the whole
Shoot,
look.
to be honest with you, it looked like Al Sharpton's blood.
And I told y'all I liked Al Sharpton's blouse. I sure did. I told you that. Don't come for my Al Sharpton. Okay, let's talk about these two looks here.
My
I
guy Taylor,
I was not feeling Swiss Beats and Alicia.
I
No,
hated it.
I hated Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. They're not style people for me anyway.
I hated it.
But it wasn't.
I hated it.
The do rag was fine.
Was
I don't
it?
know. He was holding on to her for dear life. I don't know what she was giving. Rick
Yeah, it looks
James.
always
Yeah,
lost
yeah, yeah, yeah.
confused.
Okay, let's talk about this one. I liked it. I wasn't sure about the gloves. Something about the gloves just stopped for me, but I like this look.
Yeah.
So I again, the problem that I had was proportion here.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
because you rolled up
Jacket
your
length.
sleeve and then showing
Mhm.
like you showed the inside of your lining, which beautifully done. But when you
Mhm.
add the gloves, it gives you a short look at the top.
Yes,
But then you
Yeah.
have this large black banding around your shoe cut off your leg. So
Yeah.
that's where I
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
struggling with
Mhm.
this look.
yes,
Yeah.
I
To,
agree.
to me, I feel like it should have been like almost like a waist length jacket.
I
Mhm.
Like I feel like the
agree.
jacket length was too long.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone said they look like
And the
they
drag
they
lines.
smoked in the limo. Yeah, they
Look,
Oh,
that was rolling up heavy.
in
okay.
New York.
These two divas right here. One had an amazing outfit. We're not gonna talk about Diana Ross. We just
No.
gonna let her be.
She
Okay.
do what she
There's
wants.
no
Yeah,
there's no
she can do what she
standard.
wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was
But
wearing a
Gail,
black designer. She was wearing an
yes.
Yeah.
upcoming black designer.
But
So yeah.
Gail King, we already said it, and
Leave it in
everybody
Yeah.
has
space.
My
agreed
students can
it's a
do
no.
better than that. Like,
And
Straight
and
up to the
because
moon.
of where the lapels were hitting, literally it dragged everything down. It looked like her tits was at her navel.
Mhm.
This was another like Savannah. Like everything at the bottom was heavy. Everything was just
Yeah.
just heavy, 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 heavy.
it's the
But
center. Like it
Diana,
is like scrunched
yeah,
up.
yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. We agree. It wasn't good. Okay, Chance the Rapper. He is
Oh,
wearing a
Chase
black
is cute.
designer's hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the
He's wearing
Modern
a
Houseware, Shakita Rodriguez, I believe is her
mhm.
name. Similar style to Yin Shell hats that he makes. They both have a similar style, but I did like Chance the Rapper.
Mhm.
I loved it. I actually liked the whole entire look. What did you all think?
So he is wearing custom Versace. I
Mm,
definitely enjoyed this look. I think
yes,
the fit of it is giving like it's an oversized, but it was still nipped in. So some of these men's
Mhm.
suits were very, very boxy. Where this one,
yes,
you can still see that this still has some shaping at the waist, going in a bit
Mhm.
at the waist, giving a more
Mhm.
of that martini glass shape. I
yes,
enjoyed this, even with the fuller length of the pants, and where you can see even on the shoe, it's laying right on top of the shoe
Mhm.
with the pleat at the front. I enjoyed
yes,
that.
yes,
He reminds me of like a performer back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I could see him going on stage in that era, performing or singing. Like I liked it. I liked Hallie too. You know?
I didn't get Hallie's.
You said
I'll be
what?
honest. I didn't get
You said,
hers.
you
you
know
know
what?
what?
Okay, so besides the fact that she was naked at the bottom and everything, the whole
Butt
thing,
booty
I
naked.
was like, that's mother effing Holly Berry.
I mean,
I
it's gorgeous.
Yes, but
But
the
The
jacket, the
pants be a
length of
little
the
bit wider.
jacket, I think yes, I did like the fact that her fascinator, the jacket was giving dandyism, I mean the trumpetness of the dress, but again,
The
the
upper shape.
being, that's
It's
Holly
that
Berry.
front
Okay.
panel.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
like I
Okay.
came to pay attention to nothing else because she was naked.
You did.
So yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
Boy,
I
true.
think that was
boy,
the
You just
point.
look right there.
boy, boy.
Neither of
Okay.
those.
So Simone Biles is very short. We all know that. So I think that I don't know why they always kind of put her in these overpowering dresses. I will say that I didn't mind her husband's outfit. I know he added the fur boa at the
A little.
like last
I
minute.
did. I
You
mind
know,
it. Did.
you
And
didn't
I
like
know that
it?
he has fringe on the sleeves as
I
well.
hated the fringe. I hated the
Mhm.
Yeah,
fringe. It was fringe
yeah,
on the sleeves and on the cuffs. That was
And on
not
the
yeah,
necessary.
pants. Yeah.
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 To be honest with you, they're reminding me of Oh, there they go, Russ and Sierra.
Yeah.
It's just that couple that you're not gonna look to for,
Yeah, that's true.
they they
That's there.
they continue
Yeah.
they continually miss the mark, which that's what they're known for. Own it. But just like I said, the Kentucky Derby was this past weekend. They looked a hot mess. They were too matchy. Now this one, it's I didn't
Coco
understand.
T said the fur and the shoulder gave coming to America.
I mean,
You
it
know what?
did.
Hey,
So here's the thing. Looking at this look on him, this is the best he's looked in a while in some of the things that he wore. So I think I'm taking it from that perspective. But did it give full dandy? No, not necessarily. But I give him a B- for effort.
the
And
best
then
he
her
looks
dress.
is in his football uniform on the field.
Oh, Simone looked like a great. She looked great at the Derby. Someone said Simone looked great at the Derby. Okay, Russell and Sierra, I loved. I think Russell could have
Russ,
done a little bit more. I would have loved an ascot.
This is
I
classic.
want Sierra's dress.
But this is classic Russell. It looked like he just went in his closet and got his tuxedo.
That's what I'm saying. It might be the same suit he's been wearing. It might be.
I enjoyed the overcoat, like the overcoat that we were
Yes.
seeing on a lot of the men. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
In her dress, she ate. I didn't think she ain't need the contacts for me. I didn't understand the contacts because her eyes, like she had on these blue eyes or green eyes. It was weird.
Oh, really? I didn't even look that
Yeah.
close.
Her eyes.
Okay. Oh, did we already do? I'm sorry, we did Cardi, but let's talk about
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. She looked beautiful, but it wasn't giving dandy, but she looked beautiful.
But I think it was to play in the background, and I'm okay with that.
She said that in one of her interviews, though. She did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I can understand that. Hey, everyone, thank you for joining. Okay. So Shakira, she was a no.
Stayed in Miami.
She should have played in the background. Like this is not that event. I don't know.
Why
this didn't have to do it with anything.
Why was she invited? What?
I mean, anyone can be invited. I mean, yeah.
Somebody paid for her ticket. Oh, she did.
Yeah, I just think that the dress was not for this. But let's talk about Kendall. I actually liked Kendall's look.
The shape is
and
nice.
I think out of all the Kardashians, Kendall
she's the best.
she was the best dressed.
I definitely see that. It was a Black designer, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. Now I'm drawing a blank to which designer it was because she mentioned him and I remembered. Oh goodness, it will come back to me.
And she gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. She sure did give him a shout out. She did on the carpet and everything, and she was, and that's when I said, "Oh, okay, Kendall."
And again, they knew how to play this correctly and play in the background, and I can appreciate that. And we're a Black designer and go with the theme. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about. I think this was one of our top faves. This person, Janelle Monáe. Absolutely. And then I don't know how we all feel about Chapel Rose. Yeah, let's talk about it real quick.
I heard she's a nasty person, so I don't like it.
You don't like Chapel?
I heard she's not a nice person, so I can't.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I love her music. I've heard a few instances.
I don't even like her music.
I haven't heard anything from her yet. But
I love her music. But
it's giving Stevie Nicks. So
she's very Stevie Nicks like. But Janelle. Yes,
she always brings it. Like I wasn't like she's always going to be on point, on theme, following procedure.
Did y'all see what she wore to the after party?
Yes,
boobies out.
Listen,
she always does that though.
She does. That's like her staple now.
Yeah. Okay. So Chapel, I will say I like the detailing and the tailoring of the suit. How it felt like it was quilted. With the different.
I think for a different event, not for this.
It's giving like Grammys. It's giving like you were doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or MTV. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like a rock and roll Hall of Fame.
Y'all are funny. Okay, Quinta, and then this young lady that's wearing Balmain. I cannot remember her name, but I know exactly what he was going for with the whole look of. It was interpreted of him like the muslin that you would put, or the fabric that you would put on a mannequin,
He
and
did
how your drape.
atelier for all his people, so everybody was kind of going, instead of like tailor for you, he was going as the tailor, and that's why he was carrying the sewing machine,
I love that.
because he was carrying a leather sewing machine.
So he
I
took
saw that
it.
Balmain sewing machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he took it that as a reference to the tailoring part instead of honing
Mhm.
in necessarily on the dandyism.
Mhm.
I would say. So again, I think also with the theme, it was two different things. You
Mhm.
had dandyism and then you had the superfine, the tailoring, right? So
Mhm.
some people interpreted it different ways. I like Quinta's dress. There was someone else that had something similar to Quinta, except they didn't have the black in it. But I will say I liked her silhouette and her jacket.
It was Twyla's dress, I think. Her dress
Yes,
was
Yeah.
yes.
similar in
Yeah.
color.
Yep.
Um,
Lord.
I like Quinta's hair more than anything,
Yeah,
because
Quinta's hair, I love it.
yeah, Josephine
Mhm.
Baker.
It would have
Okay.
been better if he would have like, I get the whole muslin thing. I think if he would have told a story with all his clients, like, okay, this one
They did.
looked like it
It
did.
did. It did.
Yeah.
So this is muslin. Somebody was the mannequin, and then he had the rulers. He did.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
ruler
Jennifer Ortega was the rulers,
was the rulers.
and then the
Yeah.
other guy with the sleeveless, is that the one? Was he the sleeveless one?
Yes.
Okay.
He was a
Gotcha.
mannequin.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But see, if you didn't hear the story, you wouldn't know he was going straight for the tailoring. And I think a lot of us I wanted to see that. I
And I
wanted to
see
see the dance.
So this
That's what I wanted.
this
Yeah.
this is one of the biggest things that I think the Met Gala should do is, I think when the celebrity is entering, even with the designer, they should have like an overlay that tells the story. It'd be like designer, this, stylist, this, makeup, this, and then be like theme or the message, or you know what I'm saying, and then
I
because
agree.
that would bring it all together, and there'll be so less questions because.
But I also think it's kind of fun to kind of figure out the interpretation. Like I think it's kind of like a fun thing to do and kind of.
I'm interested in that part. Like I enjoy it, but yeah.
No, but I agree with Scorp, and I also love the fact of the interpretation as well.
Yeah.
I love the suspense of us trying to figure out if it was
Yeah, I
on
like that
theme
part.
in a way. I
Mhm.
do like
Mhm.
that, an aspect of us looking at it and seeing if we can
And it
really
creates
get.
conversation.
Yes. It creates these conversations that we're having here. And then further, like, okay, can we have the information in the history or the historic context of the dress? Okay, I love this. I love these two looks. I will say this. I just wish that she would have put that purse down. I agree with you, Scorp, with the blue Hermes bag. But Nicki Minaj, I thought she executed the theme very well. I love the fact that her and Cardi could be in two spaces and not fight or throw shoes at each other. So that was good.
I just don't like
Yeah.
the makeup and hair for Nikki. It's
Nikki
Also
giving.
didn't-
could have done a finger wave. She would have been great with a slick back or a nice finger wave or something with the little curl in the front, like some of the other young ladies. I think she didn't think about the hair too much, but I will say that I love the deconstructedness of the jacket, everything.
So the
I like
only
the
thing with Nikki's, I did not like it. Almost looked like she was wearing a beater underneath the jacket.
There you go.
But I think
Mhm.
that's
I was
the
gonna say
point. I really think that was the point for her to wear the beater, not white, but I think
But I didn't like that part. Like, so
you didn't like that.
I like that. Yeah, it just kind of looked like it made her look dirty to me. Like she's
Mm.
downtrodden and dirty, and clothes is coming off like hard day at work and taking things off in
I
a way that
understand.
yeah.
What
I
I
see
was
what
gonna
you're
say,
saying.
what I was gonna say is, it almost looked as if it was made without the beater, and then they were like, we
Added.
need something to occupy the space, and so they put that
Mhm.
underneath.
Underneath
'Cause
it.
it looks,
Really?
to me, it looks ill placed. Like, it's like, what was the purpose of it?
Okay,
Like, I don't know.
I'm taking it from a different context. Not that I necessarily like the beater, but the beater was a reference to Harlem, and the wife beater and just wearing, and taking it to the 90s, or just up like that part. Like if we think about Sinners and that one scene, if for those who didn't watch it, transitioning with time. So that's just my reference. I would love to get some more information on this. I don't have that. But that's just what I saw from it. I kind of was like, okay, I appreciated that grit personally.
Okay.
Let's talk about Lauryn Hill.
I got tired of her holding that fan in front of her face the whole time because you really couldn't tell it was a fan.
I knew it was a fan when you got these hot flashes. Listen, let me pull out my fan.
You don't need to have on all these layers. Like
Mhm.
But
but
That
no,
part.
no, no. Even you'll get the hot flashes even when you don't have layers. Let me just say
I
that.
get it. I get it. But then, like, but this face, it just looked like a globe. It looked like this gold globe that you were just holding in front of your face.
Yeah.
And it didn't. She didn't need the blue bag. I like the blue bag, but it was like, why are you carrying your purse? Like, but also, black mamas carry their purse everywhere they go. I get that
Yeah.
too.
So they said, Carol Sewing said they told Lauren the gala was on Monday, so she would be on time. That's what I said
Look,
on my story. I said, true to form,
they
Lauren
told her
Hill.
it was on Saturday. They told her it
Listen,
was
Oh
on
my
Saturday,
god.
but she was
Oh
but
one of the
my god.
last people on the carpet.
yes,
Yeah,
I liked her outfit. I
yeah.
did. I thought it
I
was
loved it. I liked it.
I
I
thought it
liked
was
it.
very on
Cynthia,
brand.
yes. Cynthia said Nikki's original sketch show showed she had a long sleeve on that arm. Okay, so she had a long sleeve on both arms. Okay,
Okay.
these will be my two worst dress. These are my two worst dress.
Is that
Shakiri
Doja?
and Doja Cat.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
At some
I
point,
think
we're gonna
Doja is
stop it.
wearing. I think she's wearing Marc Jacobs as well. I understand
I don't
the
mind
hair.
hers.
Okay. So
I
It's
just
like
you
it
don't.
like
looks like it's her.
I
Like
don't.
she went from
I
wearing a cow to this. Like it's
Yeah. Personally, I just don't understand Doja's style. Like I don't understand her because I just feel like she's moody when it comes to I don't know. So that's why I just kind of even on my story I was like, it's a miss for me, but it's eccentric as hell. So I guess it fits her.
Yeah, and I mean, and Carrie, like it is Valentino. This is a Valentino look, but you also can tell that Valentino right now is working off of just their staff designers. There's no real cohesion in the collection because
mm,
there were some people that were done by Valentino that looked good. This was not one of those.
I think she got the junior stylist or the junior person because I was just like, what is with the purple lace, the lilac
I don't
lace?
know.
It looked like yeah, she was going Easter Sunday something. Okay, we did do
Hmm.
Miley, and then I think who's that? That's not Haley Bieber.
No, that
What's her
is
name?
Harry Stewart or something like that. So here's the thing, because a lot of people didn't like it. This is custom product. I liked it. And I liked it because it's a shirt that she's wearing and it's like a cotton. It's like a cotton jacket. And what it's giving me is Pullman Porter. But I have not
Mm,
been able to find the full inspiration behind this look. But it's
mm-hmm.
almost giving that she is going for Pullman Porter with this.
Yes, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Okay. These two looks right here.
This
Oh yeah,
Ferragamo
that's
look.
IO. Oh yeah, that's IO for me.
Yeah, I
That's
love
just
that. I
that's
loved it.
bringing the culture to the red carpet. To me, that was
Mm-hmm.
leather done right. I mean, I know Jody was that leather that Jody had on or no?
Partially leather, but
Okay,
not all of it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it was just very well put together. Like I'm proud of Io. I know a lot of people they have their opinions about her, but I mean, she's young. She's been putting on, and a
She's
lot of it is
getting
black
she's
designers.
getting there with her style, I would
Yeah,
say. She is getting there with her style and how she looks. So continue to work on it. I can't wait to see her blossom in that. I thought
mhm.
both looks were okay.
So she is
Um,
young. She is young.
these two looks here.
No.
Serena and Venus they're still in
Oh,
Compton playing
cute.
tennis. So.
And also, like it looked like, especially for the white one, like it looked like she put her shoes through the dress as she was trying to walk out of someplace.
And it ripped.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
that's the part for me. I was like, "Where's the?" I don't know that part didn't seem tailoring. The top did. I love the top, the corset part, the sleeves, but then from the bottom down, I was just like, "What was going on with that?" And then Serena is the wrong event. I really just think that something with the Williams sisters, they really do need. It's like they get a one up and have a good stylist one day and makeup artist, wigs, everything, and then the next day it's like, "Hey, I don't know what happened." I really
They
don't know what
continually
happened.
miss the mark. They continually miss the mark.
Yeah.
Because if we were to ask when's the last time you said Serena and Venus hit the mark, I'll
No.
wait.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You know, so it's tough.
Okay.
Athletes.
Doche, Bella, Angel, what did you fall in love with? I know we're going fast and stuff. Let's not talk about Serena. Where was she going? Yeah, I
It
don't know
looked
where
like
she was
a prom
going.
dress from the early 2000s. That's what her dress looked like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wrapped in a blanket at the bottom. Yes, I know.
All right. Let's talk about these two. What did
So
we
John
think?
Baptiste is a suit. Is
I
I
love
like the
her.
detailing of the fabric. Um, I mean, he did it right. It's a suit. He's a musician. He was given like old school Cap Calloway. Like that's
He
what I
was
got from
playing
you.
that.
Yeah, right. Cynthia, I didn't understand this for this. I like the
Mhm.
I like
Yeah,
the
detailing of it,
embellishment.
but
Yeah, I like the
she,
details. But yeah.
it was not for this.
Oh yeah,
I
that
I
part
don't
is.
I
I don't know.
agree. I agree with everything you all are saying. I agree.
This would have been great for
Um,
last year.
yeah, I think sometimes she misses the marks when it comes to certain things.
Oh
Oh,
Jesus.
you fell in love with Demi Moore. Okay. All right, Dolce. Dolce, sorry. Okay, what about these two looks right here?
So
Yeah.
again, Lewis Hamilton is wearing a black designer. It's beautifully, excellently tailored. I love the color on him. That's a
Yes,
beautiful cream color, and not full white, but it's also not a warm cream. It's like
yes,
it's almost like a creamy gray a little bit, but
I
it's
loved
missing
it.
the coat. The coat
Yeah.
made that
It did. The
made
coat
it.
made it
Yeah.
perfect. I loved it. I loved his hat. I loved the brooch. I loved everything about it. I wasn't too sure about the black shoes, but other than that, I love this look on him.
Hmm.
Um, and this we talked about was we just didn't like it,
It was
disrespectful,
disrespectful.
just the whole entire thing. So we're gonna move on from there. Um, okay. All right. I love these two actually.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love these two looks.
Yeah.
It
Ah,
was interesting to see, first of all, this cut of coat
mhm.
on, so this is Justice Smith and Valentino, and the use of what looks like a scarf,
Yes.
but also wide leg pants with the pants hitting correctly.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed that. And then George Lucas's wife, like she knew, and he knew to play in the background for this,
Hmm.
and I appreciate it.
Mm,
I
mm.
appreciate it.
So first and foremost, his outfit right here is giving me. I love it. I want this jacket for myself. It's giving me Dynasty. It's giving me Joan Rivers. Not Joan Rivers. I'm Joan Collins. Yeah, I love everything you said about it. And yes, 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 and yes. Okay,
This
thoughts,
jacket
Jazz?
is really
Hmm?
Okay, okay, we're going. We're almost there, y'all. We are almost at the finish line. These two were a no for me.
good. Is she pregnant?
Who?
No, she's
Who?
not.
No, sir.
It
But
literally is just a shaping of that, and
yeah.
Ooh.
where it's laying. And
So we're
Precious, I ain't understand it.
yeah, I'm gonna say Haley. No. And this young lady, I can't remember her name,
Preciously.
was Precious. Precious was a no. So no, no, no. And I see the audience is all saying no, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
All
But
right.
this was a yes, 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 yes,
I
yes
love
for
both
both
Yes,
of
of them.
yes, yes,
these.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Mindy
and especially
Kaling. Go ahead,
Idris.
Julie.
Idris in like for this to be Tommy Hilfiger to be, he's not like he's known for tailoring, but not known for tailoring like this. This is
Yes.
like expertly done,
I was
and I think
entrance
because
too.
we are seeing the details in it, the red is first of all it's a deeper tone of red. I
Hmm.
think probably people like this more than the other full red look. This is expertly done to me.
It's very
See,
rich.
do you
Yeah, very
see
rich red.
why I like this with the because even that pop of the white and
Hmm.
even the
The
embellishment,
jewels,
the
yeah.
jewels, it just okay, you want to look further. Like, oh, it's
Hmm.
intriguing. Now this is the
And
red that I
it
like. And
complements
yes, yes, I agree,
his skin
Diana. Give
well.
me all of it. Mm-hmm. All right.
Hmm.
And Mindy Kaling, I just love her. I think she
Oh
did
no, it was
an
gorgeous
amazing
and it
job.
fit impeccably. So yeah,
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Love, 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 love. Okay. Oh, well, we
It's in
already
like
did
her
these
wig.
two.
yeah,
That
And we
it?
did this. Okay, did I just go back? Okay, I think we went through
Okay,
everybody for the most part. Was there anybody that I did
yeah.
not show?
The only
Uh,
person that I think we should talk about is that I wish that um, Vera Wang just said no, she ain't come. She ain't need to come. She was dressing like that. She ain't need to come. She ain't need to come. She ain't need to come. She need to go to. She need to go to McDonald's. She ain't need to come. She ain't need to come.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to hold on. Let me just can you pull her up real quick?
Hmm. Hmm.
Vera Wang was
Hmm.
yeah, when I saw that, I don't know what was going on with her.
Hmm.
she was having a moment.
And why? But why the wig about to slide off her head?
Yeah.
Was that a wig?
That's a wig. She is
Just
giving holiday heart after she just went and found the bike.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I can't. I cannot. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, she was on there. Were there anybody in the audience that you all wanted us to talk
well,
about
she just
or say that we may have skipped?
Dolce Bella Angel brought up Priyanka Chopra. She's saying that she was amazing. That was the best one for her. I
So
think
go
that's the
ahead.
Jonas Brothers' wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Oh yes,
she
Priyanka
did it.
Chopra. I
She
have
did
her
three different
picture.
views, right? Or she like one
She
she took
took
the
off
jacket
the
off,
jacket and
and
stuff
then
like that. With the jacket on, I think it did better than without. Somebody asked about, so there I've seen two. So Brian Tyree Henry and then Zoe Saldana. Saldana.
Yeah, what? I thought I put their pictures in there. I have them right here.
I
Oh
like
my god, I
his.
forgot. Oh wait. Hold on. I gotta go back. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. We're gonna have to go back. Just give me 1 second. There's a lot of people here that I thought I put in. Yeah, Zoe Saldana, Kerry Washington. Oh my goodness. Charlie XOX. Hold on 1 second.
Well,
We're gonna do
while
this
we're
real
talking
quick.
about
We're
that,
gonna
one of
go
my favorites, as we're talking about, like I talked about Oswald Boateng in his suiting and stuff like that, and focus on that. But then with Tim's, he did a dress.
mm-hmm,
So also like in an African style suiting fabric.
mm-hmm. Yeah, she was
He
up there
not
with
too
it too.
long did his first women's wear full line. So I really enjoyed that. But actually, I was not mad because she could have came looking like Vera Wang a little bit. So I was not mad at it. It could have been bad. It could have been bad. It could have been bad. So I
Mhm.
wasn't mad at her. Zoe
Tyler
Saldana, it
Tyler Perry.
was
Oh Lord.
Tyler, I did not mind it. So his was by Gray, another black designer.
I
I
didn't
just wish
mind
it
his
was
either.
longer. I
Yeah,
wish it was longer because
yeah.
he is so tall. Where the
It's just
sleeves hit, with
short.
even with the split, it looked like the sleeves were going to be too
Yeah,
short.
yeah.
Mm.
I wish it was longer.
I agree with that. Let me do something here. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Okay. Can y'all see
Yeah,
that? Is it one person? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I thought
this is
I
amazing.
loved,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
absolutely love. What's
The
her name?
texture.
Do you recall her name?
Mm,
I
See that.
absolutely loved her look. Cannot remember her name off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It's just so many people, but I love this look.
The first thing,
Okay, let's
yeah,
go to
it was
go
no, it was
ahead.
just
Go ahead.
it
Go
was just
ahead,
the mix
sport.
of the different textures, the prints.
Mm-hmm. See that.
I usually hate
Everything.
paisley, but it really complimented it.
Mm-hmm.
and fur. And I'm
Yeah,
glad to see like fur is a black fabric nowadays. I'm glad that
Mm-hmm.
they showed more of that
Yes.
fur.
I loved it down to her hat.
Hmm.
She embodied dandyism, perfection, the styling, the tailoring, everything was
yeah.
Hmm.
good. It was good here. Okay, Sabrina Carpenter. Now, while everyone was like, where are her pants? I actually like this look. I just thought her hair could have executed it a little bit more and maybe have done a really nice ascot would have been perfect. And or a top hat. That's just my
Mm-hmm.
per se, but
It
I
was
It
liked
too
it.
fit.
circus.
It
I
fit.
mean,
I
it fits her. I just feel like I just sometimes you just don't need to sexualize the look, you know? Like it's just I
Mm,
felt like she could have done more with because like I personally liked like the fabric choice, like it was like a deep color.
Mm-hmm.
It fits her skin tone, like the hair, of course. Like I think it's a mess, but you know I don't know anything about women's hair like that. But like I just felt like she could have it could have done more instead of trying to sexualize it. And I feel like that's what they tried to do. So
But also,
for
as we're
me,
talking about,
mm.
like, it was the jacket, but also I'm wondering if it was also going with Zelda Wynn Valdez because of the cut of that. It is giving Playboy Mansion, and she did help in the creation of the
Mm-hmm.
Playboy Bunny suits. So I wonder if that was
Mm-hmm.
part of it. From But
Mm-hmm.
Louis Vuitton wasn't
that
doing a
makes
lot of
sense.
that, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
So
Hmm. That's a good point of reference.
mhm.
Okay, let's talk about this look here.
Wrong event. This was not
Yeah.
chinoiserie. This was not that. It was gorgeous, beautiful, beautifully detailed. I'm like, but you could have kept that at home.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I was giving Alice in Wonderland.
Wow.
She could have went to
That was a
Frocktail.
lot.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
a lot.
Hmm.
All right. Next is this look here. Oh gosh, no, I can't. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, we did that one already.
Hmm. She could have left that at the
I
Derby.
think
She rolled around in
the Turkey
the
Derby.
flowers before she came.
Yes,
What in the world is
yes,
that?
Literally, this is
Who
called
is
a
that?
roll in the
yes.
hay.
Yeah, like
Oh, I don't know who that
my
is.
goodness,
Does anybody know who that is?
We
a
don't even
mess.
need to
That's what
talk
it is.
about it too
A
long.
mess.
Oh, Pharrell dressed her. They said. Oh,
Dressed
Pharrell
who?
okay.
dressed Sabrina Carpenter.
The lady with the
Yeah.
No,
Kentucky
no, no,
Derby. Oh,
Sabrina
with
No,
Carpenter.
that was Louis Vuitton.
what's her
Yeah.
name?
Yeah,
The singer
yeah,
Sabrina.
I guess.
Sabrina
Yeah,
Carpenter. Yes,
So this
I
I do
love
like
this.
this one. I do like the
yeah.
shaping. I do like the use of the
Mhm.
sleeves and stuff like that. This was interesting to see.
See, now hold on. See, I think this is. Remember when we were talking about Tessa Thompson? I feel like this is what Tessa Thompson was trying to do with the way the shape is at the bottom, but it was just like
I agree.
longer. You know what I'm saying? But I think maybe they just went out a little too much and made it like a little
Yeah,
too bigger. Like if it was slimmer, I think it would have been better. I get what y'all are saying.
I agree. I agree. Oh, Tyson Beckford.
He came classic.
I wanted him to. It's classic. It's just like Russell Wilson. It's not, it's just a suit. He went and got from his. But I love Tyson. He can do no wrong. But I would have loved for him to push the dandyism, especially being from this area.
But I think, but here's the thing. So like he's wearing, like he is being a dandy. The only thing is that his inner button is not buttoning. That's why the suit jacket is going like this at the bottom. He needs to button that button. On the inside of the other side of it is not buttoned.
Oh, the double-breasted, yeah, and you can
It's
tell.
not buttoned.
Yeah.
Yes. So Amber Freeman said there was a balance with the puff because there's a shape. Yes, I agree.
And then right before that,
I'm not sure about Pharrell as a designer. Yeah, Pharrell isn't a designer. He's not a designer. Okay, he's not. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion, we already said we did not like, so we're good with that. I don't know. Her hair was giving off something else. It was not giving.
The whole look is literally, this is a whole look that was done by Josephine Baker in the 50s, like, or the 40s or 50s. But yeah, it just did not work for here, and it looked too much like Diana Ross's look.
Listen, I know Diana Ross made her take that outfit off when she walked up in the Met.
But Diana Ross had an outfit change into an outfit that she designed herself.
Oh,
see, and I know that's why she's the queen, because she's like, y'all not hussies not gonna come in here looking like me. Okay, Kerry Washington, I absolutely love this, and I know some of you did not, but
It's not that I didn't like. I do like it. It is very Kerry. It's very her. I love the hat. The hat is giving. The hat is.
The hat is my hat, honey. Yes.
I feel like she's. I'm just gonna say I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
I feel like she should be.
I love the jacket.
Passing around like the tithes and offering basket.
But that's also part of it. Like I think when I was like, a lot of the hats were giving Obsidian Baptist Church on Easter Sunday, which is a New York tradition.
Yeah.
So this hat was part of that, which is part of the Black culture and dandyism. It gave me what I needed.
Yeah,
I think it's a skirt for me.
I agree.
I like everything else.
It's the skirt for you. Okay, I love the jacket. I love when I saw it on the carpet. I just loved it. It was an air about it. But yes, I agree with some of you guys. So Andra Day,
I loved it. I love the color.
I love it.
Some people in the audience said she could have kept that.
I loved it.
I actually liked Andra Day. Marquisha, I loved Andra Day's. Yes, Amber, you loved Carrie's look, a dandy in Martha Vineyard. I love that. I love that. Okay.
So Lois Monet, I think also the part of it is the lighting. So I don't know if it's actually the color, but I think it's also the lighting, because remember, they don't have Black lighting designers when they're doing this. So, and that lighting is not for Black skin. So I think that is more it than the actual color.
Talk about that. That is very, very true. Because, I do film and stuff for work. And I remember having to film someone. And the lady was like, look, I'm not going to film with anyone anymore because they don't light for me. And I said, I know, as a dark skinned woman coming in, when I'm filming in the studio, I have to tell them, guys, I look washed out. I look green sometimes. And they're like, no, you're fine. I said, no. So I have to go in and manually change the lights or bring in lighting just so that I can have the color that I need. And so that is something that is definitely true.
I think overall, kind of like what Julian was saying, is like, as we go through these pictures, we're seeing that it's kind of weird that there is such a lack of color. Like, it's weird. because you would think they would have
Yeah,
showed out with the color. Like it would have
But
been.
I think because of lighting too, and because they know that this is like when you do not have when it's not fully kind of fully black focused and fully black
Mhm,
forward,
mhm.
that is also playing a part of it. And we do know that certain colors, while will look excellent in person, these are going to last a long time. It will not work. More neutrals and stuff
hmm
do work better. Even though they do tell you, like a lot of places will tell you, please wear bright colors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you do not light it right,
hmm
it can go wrong really
yeah.
fast.
it's gonna fall flat. So what about this?
It's
I
gorgeous.
I
love
like
her
it.
look.
It's gorgeous.
I
Hmm.
loved
I didn't see
it.
this one
Mhm.
either, bro.
Oh, Zoe. She was my top. I just thought her hair could have been different, but other than that, she was one
Hmm.
on the top with her look.
It is a gorgeous look. I love the use of buttons. We did see that from a lot of Tom Brown. I like the bow at the back. I like the structure and the shape. Even in like the shaping around the bust and everything like that, it is beautiful. The hair does fall flat. But
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, the
I
hair
needed
falls
her to
flat.
go get a bump control or something before she came.
I feel like she did redeem herself from past Met and award shows. Yeah,
She has.
that
What about my guy here?
one.
It's a
Push.
gorgeous color. It's a
Yeah,
gorgeous color. I love the detail. I hate the shape.
yeah. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't even have to tell me. I would have been 100%. I would have known it was Louis Vuitton and Pharrell style. Like, I get it. I get it. This is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
Pharrell.
That's
This
all
is
you had to
very
say.
Hmm.
Okay, we did her. We
ooh,
did
child.
her. Okay,
Yes.
this
Yes, we
blue.
got to talk about her.
I
Hmm.
loved
Yeah,
it. I loved her. I loved it. I loved the hat. I loved her tie. I loved her bag, the
Hmm.
gloves, everything, the silhouette. This is what
Hmm.
was giving. She didn't feel like she needed to fall to the
mhm,
No,
background.
like
She did not feel that
it
she
was
said, you know what?
it
I'm
was
gonna
honoring. So there's a difference
Hmm.
between somebody
yes.
Hmm.
like putting a caricature or something like that. This was true honoring
Hmm.
of the style with the hat and everything like that. This is my probably my favorite of the night. This is one of my favorites of
And
the night.
color.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and the color. I
Hmm.
thought she executed it well. Okay, let's talk about the Afro future.
It's Afro.
Um,
I'm always gonna
I
go up
love
for it.
it.
yeah.
No,
I know
I
some
love
people were
it.
trying to say it's too much, and I was like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand.
Oh no, 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 no,
No.
no! This is not too much. If you look, and I'm gonna drop that. There is a whole like Afro future or Afro
This is the
dandy
Congolese
style and
dandies. This is what we wanted.
Yeah,
Congolese, yes, and this is my love of mixing prints.
Hmm.
This is how
yeah.
I interpret mixing the different prints with, and that could be a challenge. Like I know we had these on card, but really like pushing on card fabric and mixing it
Hmm.
to create modern day styles.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then down to his cane
Hmm.
and everything, the symbolisms, I thought it was great. Oh, she looked ego, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Comedian on Saturday Night Live.
So this
Yes.
is like archive Christopher John Rogers, I want to say. It was interesting. The
Yes.
issue so I had issue like the hair. I love where the hair was going. It just needed to be smooth. Like I needed a Marcel to that hair to smooth it out because it just looked like it was Yaki out the pack with some gel in it.
Mm.
Mm,
That was my issue.
Yeah.
I thought it was a hat. I didn't even
No,
realize that
that
was
was
her
hair.
hair.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
hair.
that
Okay.
too. I was
That
watching her
was hair.
interview. Yeah.
What about him?
Who's
Effortless.
that?
I mean, this is the dandy. Like
I like
it's
that.
cute. It's cute.
Hmm.
I like that a lot.
Somebody said she reminded of the My Fair Lady.
Look,
Yes.
this
Okay.
is daddy and mama going out to a this is a
Mhm,
Detroit music
mhm.
festival. This is some type of pimps up hose down type of concert or something like that.
This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted
Yes.
from Al Sharpton.
Yes.
I
This is
see
what
what
we
you're
wanted.
saying. I see what you're saying
This is
now.
what we wanted.
I see the reference score.
Because we've seen Al Sharpton in these top coats, these 3/4
Yes.
leans with the hats. That was when he was big Al
Yes.
Sharpton too.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
We said no to
Yes.
this.
Absolutely
We
no.
I wasn't
Yeah.
feeling this. Even though y'all underneath this blazer and top, I have on a tennis skirt, but
Which is fine, but you ain't going to a gala in it.
I'm not. Oh,
His
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
get it. I get the reference. I get like it's very polo match and stuff like that. Hers I didn't get. But
Hmm.
yeah, I loved his
I love
look.
his
I loved
tie.
his
His
look.
tie really did it for me.
Oh, his tie, his suit jacket.
Mhm.
I loved it. I loved the length of the pants. I loved
She
everything.
could have kept this at home. She was going to prom.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
this was
I
a
didn't know.
no for
I didn't
me.
understand. I didn't understand. Didn't
Heidi
understand.
Klum looked a
And then
mess. I'm
Candy,
sorry.
listen, she's going through something in her life because that was very. Even when she came up to do the interview and she was like grabbing the mic, I was like, what is going on?
What do y'all think about this look?
I like it,
The
but
more I
not for
look at
this.
it, the more I want to like it, and I understand where she's going with it, but I've seen her do different. I've seen her do different.
Yeah, I just think the proportions at the waist for the peplum part for me was a little off. I don't know if it needed to be shorter. It just came out, I don't know,
Hmm.
just something. It was just
Yeah.
heavy right there.
Hmm.
But yeah. Okay. I loved this look hands down. It didn't look too comic-y.
Mhm.
It was just the right amount of structure, tailoring from the length of the jacket to where the top hit to the wide leg of the pants. Yeah,
Hmm.
and her hat, the translucent hat. I want that. I really do.
And so this is Laquan Smith, and this was the tennis heels. So to see to see
Yes.
to see them get dressed in this and get out the building because their head was touching the ceiling, it was
Mhm.
a lot.
Yes,
Mm.
yes, yes. Love the wide legs. Yes. Okay, Lala Anthony. She was the first I saw on the
And
carpet.
she
At
was a
first, I was like,
host
"Oh
too. Yeah.
yeah." Mm-hmm. Uh,
This was
It
archive
was. This was
original too,
archive
right?
off
yes,
white. So I
Yeah, I
I
think so.
get it.
yes,
Yeah,
I want a different face from her or something because the face ain't giving.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
or the
yeah,
pose, but yeah,
But she's also a
yeah,
hosting, so I feel
yeah.
like I feel like it's appropriate for what
she
she
was
was
working.
doing.
She was working. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm. Somebody said it's like steampunk but tailored. Gothic
Hmm.
classic chic.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. All right. I
Mhm.
love
Yep.
this
This is
look.
one of my
Loved it.
This was a
Jennifer
yes.
Ruby Jane.
Yeah.
Jennifer
I
Ruby
mean, and
Jane.
it's
I'm
this
sorry.
is Chanel doing it right.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say it gave me a little breakfast at Tiffany's at
Oh,
in Harlem. Okay, these two ladies right here. I
the embroidery.
yes,
I,
Interesting.
I I appreciated the
the
embroidery.
embroidery. I
Actually,
love the
That's
tailoring
about it.
on
I
the
actually like it.
jacket.
The
Yeah,
more I look at it, I like
yeah.
it, but I'm missing detailing because of the color. Like the color is,
Yeah.
especially on the all
Mm,
white one, it's missing some of the detail because that's basically showing the inner workings of the jacket. Missing it because of the color.
Yeah.
I agree, but I will say I do
It's
like it.
beautiful.
Okay. Yes, this
Hmm.
gentleman.
It's beautiful. I love the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I love the pop of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the color, the pop of blue. And in here I love the pop of red. Um a couple of drag not a couple, a lot of drag lines from the sleeve down to the pants. And it I don't know if it could have been from, while she was
It's movement.
in transit.
Yeah.
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 But oh, we already saw this look. This is just a different
Hmm.
angle that we like. Okay, here is Coco Jones. I think we talked about Coco
Yeah.
Jones.
Mhm.
I don't know if we saw it. I just wanted different hair for her and the pants.
Yes,
It
that
on the
wig.
carpet as she was walking. Yeah, the wig is tired. But yeah, as she was on, it was beautiful, beautiful suit,
Mhm.
beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it. However, the fit of it was not to her. Oh,
Yes.
Yes,
This
Brian.
is a yes.
He always he always comes though.
See, the only gripe I have, and it kind of goes with what you were saying, Julian, is the pants in the
yeah.
boots. Like I personally, I understand, but like if he would have had like maybe like a
But because of the fit of the
I
boots
just
and that they're that high and that they're that close to the leg, it actually works for me here.
It
It
does.
works.
His boots work for me better than Dochi's boots, personally,
Oh
right?
yeah. Well, she
But
had loafers, like
loafers.
she had Mary
but
Jane's. But yeah, no, this is what I
Yeah.
wanted. I wanted.
and she had
She
socks. I
has
thought she
no.
had
She has
boots.
socks and a Mary Jane.
Nah, she had long
Mhm.
That was
socks
socks
and
and a Mary
loafers. I
Jane.
think.
See, I didn't even bother with the bottom half. He he was
He
giving the
always
whole
does
thing
Yeah,
it.
that
Yeah.
I
confidence,
loved it.
that's the
It's very
swag. It
him
was like, look,
too.
I know I'm here.
And
I'm
it's giving black jockey, which is also a historic reference.
Yes. Love
So
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Is this Ava
yes, so
DuVernay?
the history behind this is basically, I think it's her great grandmother has a similar picture
Mm,
and a
Yes.
similar look from 1919. I loved it.
I love
I
that.
loved
Yes.
it.
See, so I'm saying, man, you gotta have these little overlays. Because
Yes.
honestly, I was
So
just like,
basically, I started going to people's pages to find out the info. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes,
yeah,
and they talked about it later today, and in essence was doing a couple of different historic references that I
Hmm.
was watching today as well. So that's how I was able to see. Because initially, when I saw it, I was like, no. But then again, after doing the history and coming back, I was like, okay, okay, I can see where she's getting it from. And of course, I love her hat. Like, what do y'all
We talked
think?
about him with because his was the
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we
yeah,
did. Oh,
yeah.
yes,
yes,
Keith,
Mm-hmm.
Keith,
yeah,
Keith.
Keith.
I'm sorry,
Oh
Keith.
yeah,
yeah,
Hands down. Keith.
he
yeah.
knew it too. He knew it.
Keith knew it. Keith.
So here's the thing, and this is where Hugo Boss was hit and miss all night. So this is Boss, but then what's her name? The plus size model was in Boss as
Oh,
well, and they need
um, hmm
Ashley.
yes, Stewart.
no,
They
that's
needed
just the
to back off
store.
the darts because it. Or no, that is the story. My bad. Ashley Graham. Ashley Graham. Um,
Yes.
Yeah, Ashley Graham.
but they needed to back off the darts of her dress because it basically the darts were just a mess and it everything just looked heavy. This was done right.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yes. His. Yeah. I'm sorry. He's a nice specimen to look at. Okay. We talked about Savannah already,
we
right?
did.
We went into
Hmm
Yeah, we
Savannah.
did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And we said that was it. The color right
She had a
here
Hmm.
hat that
is
came with
off.
it. I wish she would have hat with it. I think it would have toned down the waist.
Yeah, possibly.
This is one of my
Her
favorites.
suit.
Probably one of my top. Like,
This,
It's a
Joey
good one.
King.
but
It is a
yes,
good
the
one.
picture not doing it justice. The video is just makes it look so 10 times
the
better.
video,
Yes.
the lighting,
Yes.
everything. Jazz, when I tell you that I'm about to go to the thrift store and
Also,
go
the
find a
carpet
whole
is
bunch of
clashing.
mirrors,
Yeah.
she looked good. And I wish they would have either dyed her hair just a little bit more red, but she looked good.
Mm-hmm.
She looked good. Okay,
Hmm.
I love Whoopi Goldberg. Ain't nobody gonna tell me
Yeah, she
nothing
looked.
No,
wrong.
Yeah.
no, this is a good
She's
look.
dandy
This
every
was
day.
perfect for her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she killed it. She killed it.
Yeah, a
She
couple
killed
people
it.
didn't like it, but
No, this is
I
perfect.
liked it.
Nah,
This is
Hmm
it
perfect.
was dope. It fit her
Mm-hmm.
style so
Mm-hmm.
well, and the hat caught to the
And
Everything.
side.
it had
Yep.
What
interest
y'all thought
because
about?
it was raglan as well. So the yeah, that was
Yes.
a raglan.
Oh really?
Hmm.
Wow. What did you think about Babyface?
Shape. I'm
Mm,
still struggling with shape because it just made him look.
yeah,
It made
it's
him look bigger,
frumpy.
but then also he has an issue. He
Yeah,
loves double breasted, but he also loves to wear the buttons right in front of the largest part of his stomach. So it takes
Yes.
everything out. But I
Mm-hmm.
do love the
Mm-hmm.
print in this. I love the use of the cane. I love the accessories. I
yeah,
just wish it
no,
was like tailored in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Everything that Julian said, like I love the print. Like I love that print. I love the side stripe, the cane.
Uh-huh.
I really am not with the whole cuffs showing like that
Hmm.
extreme. But yeah, I don't understand what it was. It just gave frumpy. I was like, did you
No,
gain
it's all
weight
it's
or
Louis
is it just
Vuitton.
like
It's the
Mm-hmm.
tailoring of
just
Louis Vuitton. This
It's
piece.
the
yeah?
design.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and
the
it's Louis.
design.
Okay, and it's
Hmm.
Louis. Gotcha.
Yeah, and it looked like they put puff in it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, someone said that people joked that Whoopi had this in her
She
closet.
probably did. She could have,
She probably
or took it
did.
home afterwards.
She could have, and it would look good. Yep. Okay, so who's that?
This was his debut. He's a designer, I believe, from
Mm-hmm.
Arizona.
Okay.
I mean, he made a
Interesting.
moment. He made a mark. He understood the assignment of showing up on the red carpet. Um, is this what I would have shown up as? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
go back.
Pharrell and his wife.
Um, yes. I mean, we've already talked about her. Like it didn't fit. It didn't fit. It didn't give me what I wanted.
No, it didn't. It
Yeah.
didn't. Okay. What
There's
about
color.
I can't.
It was color.
Yes,
And we didn't see a
I
lot of
love
color,
it.
and it was the perfect mix of color. So we're seeing the bright color here with the
It
vest,
was.
but we're also seeing the jewel tone in the tie and the shirt with this mint green. It looked beautiful.
Yes,
Is that a tie or is
I
that an
think it's like a
ascot?
it's an
scarf. I
ascot.
think it's a scarf.
It's like a
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
I like
Pharrell,
it.
what
I like it.
It looks
somebody
And
great.
here's
said
a,
Pharrell looked basic. So what was interesting about Pharrell's? First of all, it was the wrong fabric, but it's covered in pearls. All of that is
Mhm.
pearls.
pearls. Yeah,
And we
yeah.
talked about
So
Lupita.
we're just going through these. We already
Yeah.
seen these. Oh, we did not talk about Gabrielle Union and her
We don't have
husband
to.
Dwayne Wade. I thought that they what did y'all say?
We don't have to.
Oh, I like them.
It's not bad, but
You
it's just
know, I
not.
like them as a couple too.
It's nothing to write home about.
Oh no, it's yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
Anne Hathaway, we talked about her. We
hold on. Where is the adult girl?
which
Oh
adult
man,
girl?
what's her name? Adult. Her name is Adult.
Oh, who
Oh,
was
the
wearing
model.
The pink and the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
silver
Mm-hmm.
Swarovski.
embroidery.
That was gorgeous. All the Swarovskis were gorgeous.
Yes,
We
yes.
haven't like
Ooh, if you have a picture, pull it up. Pull it up.
No, I sent it to you.
You
I
did?
can't
Okay,
pull it
give
up
me a
right now.
second. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
yeah.
Because these a lot of these looks probably came at the end. I thought I had
So
covered
this
most of them,
was
but I haven't
Chanel.
seen
That was
some of
not
them.
a good Chanel look for me. So okay, let's talk about what's her Gigi Hadid. So
Mm-hmm.
Gigi.
She talked about her
it
Gigi.
did not
inspiration,
like
which I really. Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was knowing the history behind this, and I loved.
Mm-hmm.
She was so excited to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, and
Yeah, she
like the
was.
people are getting the references right. So this was another Zelda Wynn Valdez dress. Actually, also like, and it was like a copy of one made for Josephine Baker. It's gorgeous. Did it fully fit theme?
Mm-hmm.
No, but it fit Black excellence in a way that I can
Mhm.
appreciate, and was done well as a good
Yes,
reference and a good homage. So I'm good with there.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Okay. Someone said, let's talk about this one.
Lord.
Gosh. Was that Lord?
Yeah.
Lord.
I didn't like it.
No, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. And this is also another
Yeah.
Tom Brown. Like I think this is the Tom Brown that didn't work.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
should have kept that in the it should have went straight to archives.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, Bad Bunny was bad.
Oh, I love yes,
Yeah.
and his
I
reference.
wanted to
Yeah,
like it. I wanted
I
to
like
like it.
it.
You like it,
I
Jazz?
just
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Oh yeah,
I
I
just
didn't
feel like
like.
he's yeah. I feel like he and again I feel like this goes to what I've been saying is like you get kind of spoiled with people because he's brought some looks to lesser themes. Let me not say lesser themes, but with the significance of this theme, I really thought like he was going to put his foot in it from his cultural background and like I felt like he could have
But
done so much more.
I
Yeah.
think it's like it looks pedestrian. It's the color and it's the bag. The bag wasn't necessary, but it is giving of his culture. It's giving Puerto Rican. It's giving that. It's giving
Yeah,
like
bag is not. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't give it the references, but the bag and the shoe just kind of took it somewhere that it needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
One of and I just kind of wanted to like even as an honorable mention, I think one of my favorites, especially for the men of the night, was John Inman or Imam and Sergio Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
And Sergio Hudson, like in this pink,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of
Yes.
detail on the jacket, the use of the wearing of coral and everything like that. One of my favorites of the evening. Just to see, like, I want to make this.
Mm-hmm. I
I want to
agree.
make that.
You see, she's saying the story about the sombrero and the Puerto Rican culture. But that's what I'm saying. It's like for me, like I'm going off of first aesthetic, first look. Like I'm not gonna Google. I'm not gonna wait for the interview to hear the significance behind it. But for me, as a designer, I wanted to tell a story as you walk in. I don't want to have to be like, hey, this was eh. But then when you heard about it, and he was like, hey, on the inside, this is from my grandfather in
Mhm.
19 something something, and I
But
incorporated it into the thread, and I was like, okay.
can I say something though? I have a question because again, I
Mhm.
did see some references to other cultures
Mhm.
on the carpet. But being that it was for Black African American dandyism, right?
Mhm.
where's
So
should there have been the other cultural references from Asian culture down to, Puerto Rican culture, even though I consider Puerto Rican, they're my people, I'm just
yeah.
asking, um
So
because then when do you take, yeah.
so here's my thing. I think that especially in this time and age, when they felt that they are able to give honor to the theme, especially tailored for you, and it's tailored to, they took tailored to you to also tailoring it to their style, to their reference, to their history, to their ancestry, which is still in line and keeping with what many of us did with Black dandyism. We are going through to our references to our history and stuff like that, and they felt that they were able to do better homage to wearing something of the same time frame as people going through similar existences in a parallel, and like a parallel frame, going through the same similar things and literally showing up in same similar styles as they're fighting for the same like fight, without looking like a caricature by trying to look like something that they are not. That's my
Mm-hmm.
thought process. So I can appreciate the full cultural use of different like cultural varieties and people drawing from that in this process. That's me.
Yes, I agree with you, Markeisha. She says she means dandyism is present in all cultures, which it is. But this theme was about tailoring Black style, So that's where I was just, interested in knowing. And I love Bad Bunny. So I love the reference of the sombrero. I love the fact that, adding to that. And also even Mindy Kaling. And there's a couple of other people that chose references from their respective cultures, to interpret into it. I mean, that's the thing with fashion. We are going to interpret things the way we want to interpret things. And I think for me, was this supposed to be literal? I think some people wanted to see the literal aspect of it because we don't
Hmm.
get a chance. We haven't seen it. I haven't seen this in my time,
Hmm.
being born in the late 70s. I haven't seen, I didn't see this type of era necessarily born. I have pictures, my parents,
But
but,
yeah.
again, growing up in the 80s, 90s.
But even
So
I think
I
the
wanted to be
question
able
would
to
then
see
be
it.
asked, especially as we're talking about Black dandyism, Black style, would it have been that if we saw a person of a different culture trying to embody Black style, would it have given
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
same thing? I think they went for
Yeah.
like their versions of it for what relates to them and their style. And I think because this is really about
Mm-hmm.
when especially if you read Slaves of Fashion, it really goes back to really dandyism really is about showing up and showing out as yourself and really focusing on being seen.
Mm-hmm.
And as we've seen in all the articles and all the pieces and everything like that, it really is expressing the being seen for Black people. But these other groups and everything like that, they're fighting for the same thing and they're working to be seen. So the only way to pay homage to even being seen in all of this is to show themselves as being seen. That's my thought.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, I think people, hold on. Okay, Lynn said she wanted to see more dandyism, more Black dandyism. Someone else said, I think people were scared to overstep, but much like reference in Sinners, we get to see proximity through their context.
Hmm.
Um, did you miss Tyler Perry and Patrick Schwarzenegger and Jeffrey Goldman? No, if you guys have reference, I can pull them up quickly. Someone did want to see what's Al Roker's wife. Had more people
So we
gone
did talk
through.
about Tyler Perry and his was wearing custom made gray. We were talked about that without the
Mm.
picture and it being kind of like wanting it to be longer, but we did like the cape aspect and the jewels on that. Jeffrey Goldblum, he just looked like he was having fun. He
Yeah,
was going
so
he was going to have fun.
Yeah.
He was going to have
Marquisha
fun.
was saying, Marquisha saying sorry. She said, she understands the literal text of. She said, she understands your point, Julian. Had more people gone the literal route, would it have landed correctly? I personally feel
I don't
like
think
it
so.
would have landed correctly. I think it would have been a great homage to the culture, and I think it would have been great to learn the context and the history of why they chose to wear some of the things that they wore, or what designers they chose to look for a reference.
So I think probably, especially with their stylists and stuff like that, I think that it could have gone wrong real fast for some of these. for some of these art like people like Gigi Hadid did like a true homage reference to a black designer, but she was excited
Mm-hmm.
about it and knew the full history and knew the full context. I can't say that everybody was going to do the same, and
Mm.
especially if you have a stylist that is dressing multiple people in the Mark hotel trying to get them ready, all of that history and all that discussion might not happen at the way that it needs to happen for it to land correctly.
And I think that just goes to, like, if we were going to do something like this, we have to put more responsibility and accountability on both stylists and brands. It's not just about buying a table and having
That
people
is
show up.
true.
There has to be some type of a filter or a
Mm.
barrier to be like, hey, we're 3 months out. What are you thinking? Don't think this. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, like what he was saying, is styling is not, it's not easy. And I think a lot of people kind of feel
Mm-hmm.
like, it is, but when you have 10 clients, plus you're taking care of a whole table, you're going to be stretched pretty thin on top of trying to get your outfit. And, there's tiers when it comes to your clients.
Yeah.
So people are needy, they're entitled, you want to get the message across. So I think at the end of the day, we just need to have a
Yes, I
accountability,
agree.
and we have to have more
I agree,
responsibility.
Scorp. And I think D-Line, sorry, she says Black Dandy is an attitude, a mood, and a presence. If you can't carry the confidence in that, playing it safe was good. Okay, recognition.
You know,
True, she showed out and had beautiful homage. Yes, the lady with the blue dress, I think she represented it well, definitely.
Hmm.
Okay, let's talk about these looks quickly, and then we're gonna go. We've been on here for a long time. Darn it, we could have went
Yeah.
yesterday and did the whole live. Had I known, right? We could have did that. Okay, I thought okay. So here we are. I liked it. I think the pants should have been longer, and I hated her shoes, personally.
She was
Mm-hmm.
working, so I didn't mind the shoe. I just wish the makeup didn't do it for me.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The makeup kind of made her look weird.
Yeah, she
Was
needed
she
some
missing
practice.
eyebrows? That's what it's missing. It's
Yeah.
missing eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I love this. I actually really love this. And that's what's her name from Grey's Anatomy, right? Is that the girl?
I don't
Or
know.
no?
I don't think so.
That's
Oh well, I don't think
okay,
so.
but I like it.
But
What's her name?
you talking about the
This
lead?
person right here.
You talking about the lead in
No,
No,
it's
she
not Ellen
Grey's
wasn't the
Anatomy?
lead.
Pompeo.
No, not the lead. She was a supporting act. What's her name? That's not her. It looks
Yeah.
like her.
Oh,
I can't see. Okay. But I love this. I love the fact that it looked like a men's tuxedo or suit, sort
Mm-hmm.
of. I liked it. What do y'all think? Yes?
I like
It's
it. Yeah,
okay.
I think this was done like it's. But again, it was with the thing, but it also played in the background, and I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about
yes.
Zuri?
I love
Yeah,
this one. Mm-hmm.
See, this
yeah, this
is
was
The
my
pretty.
shape.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would, the one thing I will say is I'm glad because when she came out on the carpet, and then I think it was like a couple later there was another girl who came. I was thinking it's like, man, are there going to be a lot of these
Mm.
tuxedo interpretation into the
Yeah.
dresses? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But luckily there wasn't. Luckily
I
Yes.
there
like
wasn't.
this one.
Yes. Amber's saying that she hopes that this inspires style renaissance, bringing back fanciness. I
Mm.
would love for us to start wearing clothes like this again, in some way,
Hmm.
shape, or form. We talked about Coleman. We talked about Pharrell. What about him?
So this was a designer. I don't remember where he was from. I do like this is giving me reference to church suits and too big or
Mm.
somebody who's going to
Mhm.
court and wearing a church suit to court. But
Mhm.
again, it's part of the aspect of culture, and
Mhm.
so I
Mhm.
can appreciate it from like almost a performance piece perspective.
Yes.
So
Okay. We talked.
Lois
I
asked
think we
about
were
where was Billy Porter. He was not there this year. He
Yeah,
was not
he's
there
not.
this year.
Who? Who?
Billy
Billy
Porter.
Porter.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It would
he was
have been
not there.
theatrics with him.
sorry, y'all. My bad. Let me stop sharing. I don't know what's about to pop on up. Go through my personal page of pictures. Whoop. Let me close that right away. Okay, y'all. Oh, this was really great. Let me just make sure I went through all of our questions and everything. And everyone, this was fun. Y'all, I had a great time. Julian, Jazz, Scorpio. Scorpio and I were going back and forth in our chat. He never be in my chats, and he was in my chat yesterday. I said, "Oh, what?" I said, "You know what? Bet let's go live." Then he was like, "Okay." I said, "Oh, really? All right,
You
let's
know, I'm about to
go."
be done with school, so we well, for this semester. So yeah, I'm good for the summer.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question for y'all. For our sewists and fashion lovers, what's one look or one element from this Met Gala 2025 that you'd want to recreate, incorporate in your own wardrobe?
I mean, I already got my books out. We about to start. Like
Yeah,
tailoring is about to be like I'm
yeah.
about to go forward. Like this is about to be
Yes.
it. Like I started with like even just making my own look and making my suit
Mm.
like brought me joy that I had not experienced with sewing in a long time. So I'm about to just dive
Mm-hmm.
further into that for
And
me.
it's funny because watching Julian make his kind of brought me back to because I've gone through all kind of styles and like before, like when I was in college, I was that guy who was wearing blazers and shirts and suits to school. And back then, people were clowning and stuff like that. But funny how things circle back. But it has kind of reignited. So like this summer, definitely I'm going to like I've already made a couple short set suits, matching sets. But I just want to continue it. Do like a little linen blend. So like you were saying, the tailoring in me has gotten reignited. So you're gonna be seeing some of that.
So somebody asked about the
Listen.
book. So this book is called Fundamentals of Men's Fashion: A Guide to Tailored Clothes. This is by Masaki Kawashima. So this is a like I have multiple copies of this. This is from the 80s. It's expensive to buy, but I have found that especially in terms of a tailoring manual that actually uses imperial measurements, this is one of the best. I've been able to get a good draft from this book that I can now use to make tailored garments. Like they teach you how to like if I wanted to they go through how to do all the different little pieces from a
Mm,
block. So
mm,
Oh wow,
nice.
but I also have
that
Luterlo
is
and probably
nice.
will use my Luterlo system as well. I have other tailoring cutting manuals. Like I have a lot of books that
Yes,
I'm really about to go for myself and focus on drafting the patterns for my body. So
Mm.
that is going to be good. Okay, what about you, Scorp?
I think like what he was saying is like the tailoring aspect, like I was saying, is something that I want to get back in tone with. But then also, I feel like kind of seeing ASAP Rocky being the only one who kind of like stepped outside and just that street style. Like I want to kind of
Mm,
see if I can continue to forge like bring in like a street style aspect to tailoring and having it just combined. So those are the kind of looks that I'm kind of like been starting drafting since yesterday. Like I on my iPad I started drawing some things out. I've already had some things that I've been starting to do, but yeah, it's good to see a show like that come together. And even though we were left kind of underwhelmed, but it opens up a world of possibilities.
mm-hmm. Okay, good. What about you, Jazz?
Um, I don't know. I'm just I'm a little burnt out to be quite honest to think about anything
Okay. No,
else.
I understand. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. No,
even after
that's
my last
understandable.
my last blazer, I'm kind of like okay, I'm good off that right now. But definitely playing more with
Listen,
like
I'm
shape and this material and just kind of getting more into like I mean I've grazed over it but kind of being more like technical. I am a technical person. It's getting more into the details about everything and making sure everything's going the accurate
yeah,
way instead of kind of doing things the quick way
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. And I thank you for saying all of you. And I would say for me, it would just be definitely more tailoring and pushing myself to making my patterns. So one of the things that I would take from the Met Gala would definitely be the mix of prints for those who did do that. And I say this when I was at the quilting retreat the other day. Someone had this book because the guy is going. He got let go. He used to work at Neiman
Oh,
Marcus and Nordstrom's, or Nordstrom's, and Neiman Marcus bought them, one or the
mhm.
other. But they had these with all of this fabric in there. Really nice, amazing tweeds and wools and suiting. So it's inspiring me to make and just go crazy with menswear. But a flair of menswear with the femininity and the masculinity touch. So that's what I'm gonna take from this Met Gala. Okay. So, do you okay, we already kind of went through one word to describe the
Mhm.
gala. Each of you, one word, go.
Inspired.
Jazz.
I don't. I'm trying to think of a word. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I know. It just. I don't know. It made me feel good, happy. I don't know.
Yep.
I would say hopeful.
Hopeful. Okay. I definitely would say inspired too. Intrigued.
Mm.
Intrigued and inspired. Okay. So I just want to come on here and say, okay, let me just look at the questions. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us for this Met Gala 2025 recap. Huge thanks to my panelists, Jasmine Chandler of So Much Jazz, Julian Collins of Julian Creates, and Scorpio of Sins of Many. Make sure you are following them on all platforms to stay inspired. And if you enjoyed this conversation, definitely save this live, share it with your followers, your fashion loving friends. Until next time, stay stylish and keep creating. Thank you
Appreciate y'all.
all for joining us. Love you. Take care. And yeah, we'll definitely make this a thing.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good